in 3, in 2, and in 1. And welcome to the return of the FrameCast, where the F in FrameCast now stands for Formula 1, since we have a great interest in Formula 1, do we? Drew, or should I say, freshly cut Drew. Because you're looking...
In jokes,
awesome
man,
today.
in jokes.
Xeno Prime! Woo!
Oh, fuck's sake. You are terrible for in jokes, you know that, right?
I love it because, like, I don't know. It's like people got to be in on it. Though, actually, I haven't given you very little chance to be in it. So let me give you the context. We just saw a Formula 1 ad. Casino doesn't like Formula 1, but we make it about Formula 1.
I don't know why. It's like targeted advertisement when.
Yeah. Actually, wasn't Google like recently saying that they wanted to like get rid of cookies and stuff? Because they developed better technologies, and then they're like, yeah, we're not going to use it anymore, so I hope that no one else is going to be using this anymore. We're not going to be personalizing like our adverts anymore, but they're probably going to be doing it in another way.
Well, yeah, probably. I mean, targeted advertisements work. I mean, I think part of the reason why they wanted to do this is because they could then turn around and say like, oh yeah, we're preventing what's called cookie tracking and all that stuff, and then, you know, just killing Facebook. So.
Yeah. Facebook is now going to die, according to Facebook itself, actually, since
really?
Apple has released its update where people now have to opt in if they want to be tracked. And yeah, probably people are not going to say that they are going to opt in. And Facebook has been battling Apple for that for a long time because it's going to destroy the internet as we know it. Maybe for the better.
Yeah. You could do with some facelifting.
So yeah, I hope that the microphone situation on my end is kind of okay, because like I'm a little bit further away from the mic because I just didn't quite have the time to like set things up around. So if I need to get closer, just let me know. But I think that this might be in the right distance. Otherwise, we'll adjust it in a second. But welcome back, everyone. It's been a while since we had a FrameCast. It's been like weeks, I guess. Do you know how long it's been? Do you remember the last time?
I know you cancelled one because there was nothing to talk about. And then I cancelled one because I was ill.
Mm-hmm.
It's been at least a month, maybe longer.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It really has been. So let's see if we still remember how to do all these things. So let's take a look at like the topics that we have for today. It's still not really big. Like the thing is I remember we started the FrameCast when it was just we just took like one topic, and it started around Warframe. We just took one topic and like discussed that for like the entire episode, and was just kind of like this debate show thing, which I think is also like how we kind of like pitched it to each other. Let's do a debate show. And then because we kind of moved away from Warframe, and we kind of also we covered a lot of like the major topics in Warframe about like, does the dev stream overhype? Is the community toxic? Actually, we probably phrased that a little bit differently, but like we did talk about all those things. We never did a nullifier episode, but I mean, I'm quite alright not doing a nullifier episode. Do you want to do one very dearly?
No. I'm trying to refresh my web browser, but I've just muted my speakers. Every single time I try to refresh my browser, the thing just like, oh yeah, the highlight that you've just clicked on, it's back in full force. I'm like,
oh my god,
it's annoying.
I hate auto-playing websites that just auto-play a video or something. It's like, no, I want to browse in peace and quiet. But anyway, so like we started with that, and then we went on to like new stuff, and I am still not set to do not disturb, because you just got a message there. My apologies. But yeah, right now, so we're kind of like, Windows don't do things. Windows just makes everything disappear when I like try to get Twitch back, because they're like, oh no, you just want to have that one. No, I don't want to have, I want everything back. I want to just put a new window. Anyway, you guys can't see that, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, so like then we started covering the news, and right now the news just over the last half a year has been kind of like, like not a lot of things have been going on. So we have some topics for today, but you'll decide how spectacular they are. So first of all, we have Microsoft to reduce its game store cut by half to 12% following the Epic Game Store. So that's kind of interesting, especially when it comes to the way that Steam, as like Epic has been trying to put pressure on Steam, and now Microsoft is joining in there too. We have a bit of follow-up news very briefly about PlayStation ultimately deciding to not shut down its PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita stores, which is very, very nice and generous of them. And then 500 days into Google Stadia. Oh, here it comes, boys. Here it comes. A new, innovative, groundbreaking update comes to Google Stadia, which adds a search bar. More to follow.
Wow. And then there's my secret topic.
Oh, who knows what that will be. So yeah, those are kind of the topics for today. What should we get into? Shall we get into...
Well, we normally do the games.
Yeah.
What games have you been playing recently? So, what games have you been playing recently, Michelle?
I have, in the meantime that we haven't been doing the FrameCast, I have turned to the bad side, and I've started playing a battle royale called Apex Legends, and it's kind of taken me... I love it. I like it. I like it now a lot. Other than that, I've been playing some Subnautica. I've been played the Battlefield 4 campaign. I was not expecting I'd play that, but Tribal told me you should do that because it's a good campaign. It's got like emotional and storylines in it. I was like, dude, how can it be? It's like Battlefield. It's like Call of Duty. It's like boom, boom, big gun go boom, boom. That's the entire story. It's actually quite impactful, and I quite enjoyed it. So who knows? Maybe I'm changing in myself and I need to be ashamed. But I don't know. I've been enjoying myself. What have you been playing?
I've been playing a bit of Warframe. Sinnoh Alice is still on my mobile. But the biggest thing I've been playing is Outriders. And Loz and I finished that relatively recently. And yeah, so...
What did you think of that? Because I finished that 2 or 3 weeks ago.
So I'm doing a Xeno Codex on bosses because of Outriders.
Oh my god.
Like, so... The gameplay loop, it's fairly obvious that the game was not, it wasn't finished the way they wanted to, because there's this huge thing about ammo economy, and then all of a sudden, literally everywhere is peppered with ammo boxes that you can just go up and refill your guns and things like that. So I feel that the original principle was that you would just constantly pick up someone else's gun, right? So, and then you'd run out of bullets on that, and then you throw it away, and then you pick someone else's gun. But it changed, and I feel the largest reason why it changed was because of the RPG elements to have this constantly scaling difficulty system, right? And when we got towards the end of the game, we ended up fighting a mid-boss called a Shaman Warlord, right? So I had to remember which way around it went. We fought the Shaman Warlord, and at World Tier 9 out of 15, and it took us 20 minutes to kill.
Oh my god.
Right? Not because it kept on killing us, not because it kept on regenerating its health, not because it was, you know, throwing up barriers or hiding behind boxes. Literally, it was just us peppering it with bullets. We had to refill our bullets, as our ammo, several times. And this just basically instilled me to think that I just do not like how bosses exist in a lot of modern games. And this is why I've started to do a Xeno Codex on it. Yeah.
No, I can say that. I was not a big fan of the Outriders gameplay, like gunplay sort of thing. The thing which really got to me also had somewhat to do with the bosses, was that Outriders is this game which is called, like, it's set up as a cover shooter, because like the mechanics, the way that you move about is very much reminding of Division. It's very much like there are cover boxes right there. You should hide behind it. You leap over it, like you lean over it, you shoot, and you go back, you reload. That's the way it's set up. But it isn't, because it also has these abilities where they actually just tell you, like, okay, use these abilities to regen your health. So they actually just want you to keep on pushing, more or less similar to something like Warframe or Destiny, where you never really look for cover. You just kind of like push forward to enemies and enemies and enemies. And that's also something which has been very much perpetuated by people like Skill Up, who say, like, the cover is only there for enemies and you should go out and fight. And that is something where, if that works, it's okay, and like I can kind of enjoy it. But then, like, the bosses can be very, very, like, not really in line. Like you'll have several mini bosses per like level, and some of the ones you just like straight up with your abilities to straight up kill. And sometimes you get around to one where like there is no real difference into like what kind of mini boss that is, and he'll just slay you over and over again, or like there will be so many people around.
Yeah.
Like I had this one moment where there was you had to go up a bunch of stairs, and you had to fight up somewhere, and you had to go down, and you'd slay the mini boss, and another one would respawn somewhere, and you'd have to fight that one too. But the thing is like, okay, so like if you have these moments which aren't really like, they aren't really set up, or they aren't really like that you know that they're coming. So like you're just like slaying every enemy's kind of like you would do in Warframe 95% of the time. All of a sudden, boom, you're dead. It's like, okay, let's try again. Boom, you're dead again. Okay, what's going on? And it's such a weird vibe to like shift your mind around, especially when it happens unexpectedly. And then when it comes to like those more difficult settings, you'd think, okay, it's a cover shooter. I should go and find my cover, kind of like Division, just stay behind cover, make sure that I like bit by bit move up. But the AI is set up to not be a cover shooter. So the AI will do things like very quickly flank you. The AI will do something where they will like very quickly run up to you or bombard you with grenades or abilities which show up on the ground, which like you never really look towards the ground when you're aiming down your sights. So it's like
you can't see it. It's awful.
So it's like, okay, so do you not want me to find cover then? But then like if you want me to use your abilities, like I had times where I died because there was like a ledge that was legit this big, but I couldn't jump over it because this game doesn't have a jump. And I'm like, game, at least Division, a cover shooter, doesn't really have great parkour, doesn't have a jump, but at least the AI respects you enough that if you just play behind cover, you can like tactfully place out, you can tactfully place mines and drop grenades and stuff. This game doesn't give you that rest. It really tries to be both a Destiny Warframe style thing and a cover shooter. It just doesn't work. So like I had so many fights where I was like, oh my god, I'm so tired. At a certain point in time, I was like, I just want to see where the story goes. I don't give a fuck about this anymore. World Tier 1, let's go. And I finished stuff like that because I just couldn't be fucked anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I mean, when SkillUp turned around and said that he finished it in 25 hours, doing all the side quests as well. Like, Loz and I looked at each other like, the only way he could have done this is if he had it on like world tier, like a really low world tier sort of thing. Because like Loz and I have been doing we've done one expedition which is like a dungeon after you finish the main campaign, and it has taken us 37.5 hours to get through the game, and we haven't even finished all the side quests yet. Right, we're on world tier 11 now. Right. And so if you put it on baby's first Outriders, I like to call it, that's fine. You can do that. That's not a problem at all. But it's gonna be like very fast. You're just gonna burn through it. And I will say though that there were a couple of times when Loz and I just decided to no, fuck it, drop it to world tier 1, get past this encounter, put it back to what it was. Because there's sometimes you get we had an encounter where the mini bosses, there were 3 of them, and each one, well no, 2 of the 3 of them could heal, right? One of them could put up a barrier and one of them could heal, and like we just couldn't do the damage to kill them, and one of us had to kite 2 of them while the other one was trying to kill it. It's just impossible. So we just had to drop the world tier, and like it's just like, game, what is?
So, like, another area where I found that, it's like, this game actually makes so much sense as to, like, a game that doesn't know what it wants to be and just wants to be everything. Because I remember at the start, I just had no idea whether to like it or hate it. I was, like, so much, like, in between. Like, I hate elements. I love elements. But, like, you see it with, it wants to be a solo experience and a multiplayer experience. However, if you play it solo, like, you have these bosses, like, they're just, you don't even stand a chance. And you can't even pause the game or anything like that. It's just...
just to say, solo is so much easier than co-op.
Is it?
It is leagues easier than co-op. Yeah, but the rewards you get are pants in comparison.
What?
Right? Yeah. So I was doing world tier 8 or 9, right? With Loz, and we were getting purples. I then swapped to, sorry, he wasn't available. I was like, I was waiting for him to come off a phone call and things. So I was just doing stuff on my own. I got nothing but blues. I'm like, wow. So yeah, the difficulty really scales up depending on how many people are with you. And like, don't get me wrong. I'd say Outriders is a solid 6 out of 10, maybe 7 out of 10, right? But the problem with it is, as you've described, it's trying to be too many things. like so one of the highlights of the bullet spongy nature of Outriders, that is a similar problem that the Division had, right? When I was playing the Division back in the day, like there was the Russian embassy, the infamous Russian embassy, right? Whenever you tried to do it on like level, I think it was like level 60 was the top level. I really can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever you were trying to do it on that top level, like, geez, it took 3 hours to do because literally you had to waste clips of ammo on like one room of guys. Then you had to go get new ammo, and then you have to go do the next room, and then you'd have to go get more ammo, and then you have to do the next room. And the worst of all is you had to do it from outside the room, right? You couldn't go in the room to fight anything because they would just completely slaughter you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had to, like there was a there's a oh god, what was the name of the damn thing? I can't remember what it's called. Mashed. There was the Mashed YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It was an animation on the Division that literally takes the piss out of this. They're all like firing guns wildly at it's all the NPCs. They're all firing guns at each other. They're having like a house party. It's absolutely ludicrous. They're blowing each other up, and then one person shoots someone, and they sort of like get like a grazed elbow or something, and then everyone just turns to that player character, just utterly slaughters the player. That's what it feels like in the Division.
Yeah.
And at least Outriders is not that bad, but it's boring because they can't kill you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I could kind of appreciate Division when I kind of got into it. I also played Division 2, and I was like, well, it's like the thing which I found is like Divisions will still have enemies that they won't charge you. They won't have like abilities that just like spawn on the ground. So while you're aiming down your sights, all of a sudden like, oh fuck, this was like an ultimate ability that's hitting me right now. How could I have known? Oh, it wasn't the ground while I was aiming down my sights. Yeah. Yes, I don't aim down my sights. It was, and then you also had this thing where it's like it's not a live surface, but in order to play it, like you have like the servers have to be up because all your data is stored in the cloud. It's like, so what is the benefit of it not being a live service? I really wonder now, because so it's like it was such a weird game, and I would definitely say it's on Game Pass. If you have an Xbox, if you have 2 or 3 or 4 friends that play this, get it, go play it. It's a really fun game to like play with your friends, kind of go for it. Like there was a story which honestly I didn't think the story was all that strong.
It's not. It's like you've got Captain who gets kidnapped a lot. You've got Grumpy McGrumperson. You've got Chana who can see the future. I can see the future. Ooh. I'm on fire. It's like. Then you've got Wheels, who I won't go into too much detail about because that's spoiling. You're like, so yeah, it's like so many stupid plot elements. Oh wait, like if you do get to the end. Like, what the fuck, even?
Dude, okay, so, like, it's so fucking
Have you done it?
Yeah, I've completed it, like, a couple weeks ago. And, like, the thing is that, like, there's so much cliches in there. But then, like, the ending, oh my god. Like, I was kind of so in it for the story because I was kind of like, let me see where this goes, even though it's fucking cliche. Then it gets to the ending, and, like, okay, like, this won't spoil anything. So I'll just Outriders say it. Like... The ending, you get to a point where, like, after you have been going through camps and legions of, like, people that don't hold your ideology that you just mow down, mow for aliens, mow down, mow for other things, mow down. Then you get to a point where it's like, oh, we're now going to confront someone who has, like, been mean and enslaved a bunch of people. Oh man, I don't think I can face that. No, I don't think I can do that. How can people be so terrible? Oh, that is so bad. He killed a bunch of people. It's so bad. I'm like, dude, you're in a fucking war game. What the fuck have you just done? How can you try and make this a moral moment when you're literally out there with a big gun? Every single one is like, bah, 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 bah. Oh my god, how can people be so... I was like, dude, game. At least Call of Duty don't do that shit.
Do you know what that is referred to as?
No.
Right, that disconnect. It's called ludonarrative dissonance. This is a term that recently came up. The whole point is like, there's one part of the game of Outriders quite early on where you walk up to this fortress and they shoot you, and then you just shrug it off, right? It just like as if it hit some kind of Iron Man armor or something, and then like and then you just start laying waste. It's like I wish I could soak damage like that. That would probably put me in a coma, right? Yeah. If I was actually playing, and that's a large part of the problem. Is like the narrative does not take into consideration the actions of the player. You know, you've just slaughtered God knows how many thousands of people by yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I mean, there was, oh God. Can I give a spoiler?
Go for it. Go for it.
Right. There's like one part of the game, which is, you know, towards the end, you turn up towards this objective, and it's the spaceship that the first attempt to getting to this planet, right? It's the spaceship that literally is quoted everywhere in all of the side stuff, in all of the plot. It blew up on a test flight. So they built a second spaceship, right? But then all of a sudden, the first spaceship is just on the planet. I'm like, how did they get there? Like, how did you get there first?
Because they fixed it. Because
no. Hold on, right? My theory was, my fan theory was that this was some sort of central nexus where the universes all touched, and this was a ship from another alternative universe, right? I really like this idea because the idea is that on the planet there's some weird space anomaly shit happening constantly. So I thought maybe this is because the universes are effectively touching. They live in the same space, right? Nope. The what's it called? The reason is apparently they learned to make better engines and got there first.
Yeah.
The ship that apparently blew up, they fixed. The ship that blew up, they then made ship 2, right? Using the last resources of Earth. Then ship 2 left, and then ship 1, like, they used the last resources of Earth, made a better engine, and got there, I think it was like 100 years earlier or something like this.
No. It took 87 years for that ship to that ship that we were on to get to there. So within 87 years, they were able to completely rebuild that ship and get there faster than us. And it's like, oh my God.
It's like, honestly, what the fuck? I much prefer the idea of alternate universes. So like the first ship, like in an alternate universe, the first ship didn't blow up, so they actually did make it. Anyway,
honestly, there were so many elements in that story because basically, like the beginning of the story is that you land on this like beautiful planet. It's like here we're gonna go rebuild civilization. I was honestly expecting like the start to be like a little bit longer. Like it feels like the game starts and then it starts again. So you start. And you get into this place where it's like, oh, we're on a beautiful green planet. We have a base camp right here, which we're building out, and you can get your guns, and you can talk to NPCs, and you have your shop NPC, and you have this NPC here. And it's like, I felt like, okay, this is going to be kind of like, you know, Red Dead Redemption 2, where you have like your little camp in the woods and you have to expand, you have to do some tasks. Like, no, walk to a beacon where we have no idea where it is. It's just like 5 meters away. You just have to do a little walk and there it is, like right from the camp, just walk there. And then it's like, okay, everything goes to shit. Now let's go for another 20 minutes of cinematics about like how you reawake from cryosleep. And then like you discover the world again. It's like, why couldn't we have discovered the world like from cryo? It's like, it's so weird. The game like starts twice and then you get to play in. And it's like, there are so many times where it's like, okay, there's a conflict introduced where it's like, there are enemies. There's another faction of humans that like, we're fighting and we're down to our last resources. Okay, so are we going to help these people then to like establish their dump? No, we're just going to leave them be. Okay, we get to the city, which is really, no, we're just going to leave it be. Oh, we discovered that there are other people that have found a cure to no, we're just going to leave them be. Oh, we found aliens and maybe we get, no, we're just going to leave it. It's like every single place, it's just like, you just like go through it. It's like, okay, here's a thing, and then in the end it's like, oh, we are so worried about the universe and the bad thing, and oh my God, shut up you, I'm just gonna kill everyone, but oh my God, how could people be so bad, and oh shit, everything blows up, but we have some resources now, so let's have some fun. It's like, it just, nothing gets resolved. It's so
as I said, like, it's a solid 6 out of 10, maybe 7 out of 10. But it's definitely not like the 95% that IGN gave it.
Oh my God. Well,
I mean,
the thing is that like the thing why I grapple with it so much is that it has a lot of elements I like. Like, even in the story shit, there's a lot of cinematics. And it's like, if I compare that to other games, if I compare it to Destiny, if I compare it, like, Destiny's cinematic quality tends to be a little bit higher, but, like, it didn't really have that much story on launch. And still, like, this is a lot of story, basically. The story just isn't good, but, you know, it is there. It has crossplay, which I think is amazing. It has co-op and solo modes. I love that. It doesn't have microtransactions. I love that. So there's a lot of things which I like, where I'm like, if you're on the Game Pass right now, and you can go and get this, like, play this with friends and have fun with it. But $60 on launch, if you don't really have friends that play this, I would not play this. I would not do this.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, like, I think Loz and I ended up talking, and we're just like, "Hey, do your fans play this? Yeah, let's give it a go. Yeah, it's should be good." Like, you know, but it. Anyway, should we move on?
Yeah. Near Replicant. Have you seen?
I haven't actually tried it yet. I literally bought it today. Right.
Ooh.
I've got a 4-day weekend. Right. So my intention was to actually play it this weekend and basically turn off everything.
Nice. Enjoy. I'm curious what you'll think. I haven't played it either yet. I've seen small bits and clips of it. I know nothing about the story because I've just seen like 5 minutes of iPhone play it. But like, I heard the music, and the music is so very similar in the sense of like, it just brings me back to that mood when I played Nier Automata. I'm like, oh my god. But I'm kind of afraid as well, because like, I so loved Automata, and I don't know.
I think that's something to realize as well. Like, you know, it's not necessarily going to be the same as Nier Automata, because it's like, I know what a good chunk of the plot for this should be. So, but like, what Nier Automata was building on top of, this started. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm curious what you think, and I hope you have a great weekend playing it.
I'm sure we will.
So let me see right here. We do have some comments from like the last year that we did this. One was from Nick Evans, who said, on the topic of video game movies, because we talked about video game movies, about Ghost of Tsushima maybe getting a movie remake.
Yeah.
He says, I think the failure point for most video games is that they use the name to just grab money. But if they were taken seriously from the beginning, games like Mortal Kombat really would be the best to adapt, for one simple reason. The less story a game has at its base, the more stories you can tell about a universe in depth. Ghost of Tsushima is, to me, a bad choice for a movie, not because it wouldn't look good, but because we already know the story. We've practically lived it. That's one thing which we didn't quite touch on when we discussed that like months ago. Though, like, let's not like bring up what we all discussed about, because maybe we can go and like talk about new things or whatever. But like, I do think that's a really interesting thing when we hear about story games being adapted. That makes so much sense, because like, we remember like the Mario Brothers movie adaptation. It's like, oh my god, so probably movies are bad when there's no story. But like, actually, Nick brings up like a really interesting point where it's like, hey, you know, we know the story right now of Ghost of Tsushima if you've played it. So what's going to happen? And that's what I think has happened with like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, especially with like the people that read the comics, unlike me. Like, we'll be watching that movie, knowing the story, and being like, if that isn't exactly as the story is, I'm going to be pissed, because I'm expecting this to go this way, because I have lived this thing and I know this story in and out.
I disagree with that sentiment, because Warcraft, right? The plot of the Warcraft movie is similar to the games, but it needs to be adaptable, right? You can't take something like for like and expect it to just like flat out work. Does that make sense?
I mean, I would love to see a movie where they're just like, go fetch me something, and then 20 minutes is like horse riding and like, fetch, 20 minutes back.
Well, no. I mean, like, but the whole point I'm trying to make is that, you know, you have to adapt everything. Like, the plot of the Resident Evil movies realistically isn't like the games at all. No. Right? But I still really like the first and the second Resident Evil movies. They're just fun, right? They're easy to just turn your mind off and enjoy. I still haven't watched the Monster Hunter movie. Maybe we'll actually see if I can acquire that and watch it this weekend. Or tonight.
The Monster Hunter movie with Humvees and guns.
Well, no, as far as I understand it, they lose that like immediately.
Okay.
So
Why did they include that in the trailer then? Because everyone was just like, "Oh my god, Humvees and guns! Yes, this is Monster Hunter."
I don't know. I think the whole point. One thing that Paul Anderson has like this huge tendency to do is bridge the gap between like society and video game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like this is the origin, like like Rick, we were talking about it 2 seconds ago. Resident Evil. Resident Evil is based in a made up location called Raccoon City, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like they had to make it like so much more realistic, like the locations and stuff matter. So it's just like it doesn't. I think a large part of the problem is that if you don't have that sense of I can relate to this, people don't like it. Whereas you and I are like, no, I don't want to relate to it, right? A lot of people want to relate to whatever they're engaging.
Mm-hmm. Actually, like question to you, like regarding like movies. Let's say that actually, like this is a really bit of like a bad question because if Corona didn't happen, it probably wouldn't have been so popular. But let's say that Corona didn't happen and the movie industry was like going on full tilt, and Among Us was as popular as it was last year and still is. How quickly do you think that they would have made an Among Us movie? And how bad would it have been?
I don't know. Like, it really depends on who's behind it, sort of thing. Like, I mean, as I said, I really like the Warcraft movie a lot, and I do want to see more Warcraft movies, but I just don't think they're going to happen. Oh God, what else was there? I mean, there are some like really good. He's struggling to think. Like video game adaptations, Castlevania. The Castlevania series is freaking amazing, right? But the sheer volume that they've made up for Castlevania is insane, right? My understanding of the Castlevania plot is nothing like the Netflix series. Right? Basically, I think it's Simon Belmont. Right? I don't think it's Trevor. Like, Trevor's just such a British name. Anyway, I think it's Simon Belmont ends up going to, I think it is Wallachia, right? To kill Dracula, right? And that's effectively the plot of so you're just storming a castle. That's it. There's nothing more to it, right? So they've had nothing to work with, and they've created a brilliant series. Oh my God, have you seen the Dota series?
No, I haven't, but
strongly recommend it. Right? I honestly, I binged the whole first series. It's really, really good.
All right, I'll go and add it to watch. Like, I've not played a game and I haven't watched a series, so there's not much that I can say about it. But I'll check it out.
Yeah, no, I do recommend the series. It's really, really good, and I want the follow-up series really quickly.
Actually, like speaking of like the lore in game sort of thing, this is kind of like another topic on its own. But like, I've been kind of wondering about, especially like how good we perceive lore in games, sort of thing. And I know that's very fake, but especially like when we started out, especially with older games like that, they don't really quite matter. It's like Mario is like the simplest fucking plot in the entire universe. But like you couldn't do much. But like the thing which I found, especially when it comes to like longer running series, for something like Warframe, for example, like I remember when I started out with playing that game, and very early on the first few years, and then we had the second dream and the war within, like I really felt like there was like this thing tying it all together, and it's like there's something happening in this universe. And like over the last few years, like I've been more and more feeling like they're just like adding things on there where I'm just like, well, this doesn't seem like, you know, like how when the second dream was revealed, like it was like, oh my God, back in 2014, that made so like I can trace it all the way back, you know, like it's not that the Tenno were there, but like it makes sense because we've always wondered about what this was. And now like I'm hearing you talk about like the creation platform, we have the Heart of Deimos, and we have all these things. I'm like, oh man, it just feels like it's like, it doesn't feel like this was part of the universe. This feels like added on. It's like, oh my God, now I have to keep track of this and that, and it kind of like it doesn't feel as coherent anymore. And I think that a lot of video games are actually kind of pasted around that thing where it's like if you're like, and it probably makes a lot of sense because it works for the gameplay. But then if you want to like try and make it into a movie adaptation, like that lore where people are like, oh my god, it's so big. Actually, you just look at it like, oh my god, how am I gonna make a story out of this? How am I gonna make a movie out of this? Oh,
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, look at freaking Lord of the Rings. Like, how much content did they chop from the books to make those 3 movies? So...
Hobbit.
Or in the Hobbit's case, added on.
Yeah. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Speaking of movies, I'm not gonna ask have you seen because apparently no one has seen it. The Oscars. Have you heard? For the first time in history, it's gone below 10 million viewers. It's at like 9 point something, and like normally they're at like 20 million viewers, which like still sounds like an insane amount of people watching it. Like I don't watch it either. I don't really give a crap. But it's kind of like interesting to see like how after a year of no cinema really, no one actually gives a shit about like the prizes being given out to the movies, and like they were all worried like oh my god we've lost all our viewers. It's kind of funny to hear.
I'm not surprised really, because like, I mean, I've never watched the Oscars. I think that some of my friends, they get like really invested in the Oscars, but I mean, yeah, I've not been able to go to the cinema for literal months, or I don't. Ooh.
Yeah, as Aramil says, I don't even know what movies even released this year. Yeah, I don't even know either. It's like I know there was that Mulan thing which released on Disney, and that was just like they shot that next to like concentration camps and shit, and it was like everyone was like, "Oh my god, this is bad." Like the only thing I know about that movie was that first of all, it was a bad adaptation. It was like made in like a really shitty way. So I've not watched that. But other than that, I remember seeing this meme where it was like. And the winner of the Oscars is gonna be like some random internet dude with like their big boobs diva compilation XXX video or something, because that would be the most watched movie of the entire fucking year. But yeah, like nothing has released really, or like nothing that I know of.
Tenet was excellent.
I've not seen that.
Yeah, Tenet was actually excellent. It was a really, really good movie.
Actually, you know what I'm excited for to come out at some point? Witcher Series 2.
Yeah, is that this year? That is this year, isn't it?
It's got to be, because it was 2019 when it came out.
No, so, I mean, they had huge setbacks, huge matters. Like, a lot of the problems were they had to keep on changing location for filming because, oh, God. The countries that they were filming in kept on changing their rules. So I know at one point in time they had to shut down filming in the UK because like they rented out this giant aircraft hangar to quarantine everyone. And it was there's this YouTube thing basically saying we've finished filming and now they're just on to post-production. So I imagine it is this year, but like they had so many setbacks. I think the reason why Stranger Things season 4, like that was originally supposed to come out on the 4th of July last year, but I think they just had setback after setback, because again of COVID and things like that. So yeah, it's crazy.
It's honestly quite wonderful to see in this very like weird times of like the global pandemic that you have these things which are in increasingly high demand, but like are so hard to create right now. So you look at things like movies, you look at things like games, like media entertainment has just had such a great year as long as it's been like online and not like physical movies, theaters and stuff. But Steam has seen record numbers. I think games have generally seen like record numbers in like a really good time, but like updates have been delayed, games have been delayed, movies have been delayed. And look at like computer hardware. Computer hardware is going through the roof right now. Like it's insane. It's like literally crippling the world, where I think like last week Philips put out like a a thing where they were like, well, this is really bad, you guys, because like we're gonna be if we lose our chips, we can't make like healthcare machines anymore. So like you really need to like start saving computer chips for us right now because we can't do this anymore. Like we can't have a production full silent and have that cost lives. And in the meantime, have car manufacturers being like, well, we can't make our cars anymore because we don't have computer chips anymore. And at the same time, you have like console manufacturers like, we launch consoles. Y'all remember that? We have exclusives for the PS5. Skillup released a video today about a PS5 exclusive. I can't even buy a PS5. So I mean, fuck yeah, PS5 exclusive. I'm gonna buy it. No, I'm not. And then you have computer gamers all behind like all the miners and scalpers and shit, and they're like, hello, yeah, we like to buy some too.
I mean, out of interest, do you think there's going to be another generation of an NVIDIA graphics card this year? Do you think they'll announce the 40XX generation?
Did you hear that they've already like released 3080 Ti? They just continue to release new models. So I don't think.
Are they?
Yeah, they are. Like all these things are like 3080 Ti, 3070 Ti. Like they just keep on launching these things to the point where like I watched Jesus Sen's Hardware Unbox, Linus Tech Tips. Linus doesn't really cover them anymore, and Gamers Nexus as well. And like all the people that cover them on YouTube are just like, yeah, we're sick and tired of this too. We don't even want to like talk about this anymore because it's absolutely like no one can get their hands on it. Everyone hates watching this. Everyone hates watching reviews of cards they can't buy, and it's just like I don't think that they will because I'm like, what kind of benefit could it have? Because right now you have a series which you don't even need to do R&D for the next thing because you can already sell everything, and you already they've already re-released the 1070 they have re-released, and the 2060 they've already re-released. So like they're making those right now again, and I'm just like, I can't imagine they do that. But then again, they have just been releasing new models the entire time. So who knows? Maybe they'll go like, oh, buy a 40 series. And everyone will just be, fuck no, I can't. So I wouldn't put it past them. But at the same time, I can totally see them not releasing anything because why the fuck would they spend the R&D money if they're already like selling everything they have?
Sorry, I see Stavev has put the 360 Ti and the 350 Ti. Do you mean 3060 and 3050?
Yeah, I think he means 30.
Okay. But even so, it's just like, it's crazy. Anyway,
it really is. And like I remember thinking last year October being like, oh man, I can't wait to send free 30 series. I can't wait to go buy my new PC parts. And like I couldn't have chosen a better time to like think wrongly about that. So yeah.
Should we move on to topics?
Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on to the topics that we have right here. Where's the 3010 Ti? Oh, man. All right, so the first topic of today, and I continue to type in this document right here. If you're wondering what that 121212 is, that I put in the document, that's just me trying to switch scenes, while having my mouse in there. So we have Microsoft to reduce its game store cut by half to 12% following the Epic Games Store. So, according to Eurogamer, Microsoft is set to cut its revenue split from games sold on its PC store from 30% to 12%. So basically, Steam kind of has this, like a lot of app stores have this, game consoles have this, where like if you buy something from the console store or the digital store, like 30% of what you pay for that will go towards the store itself, and 70% will go towards the developer itself. So, like they're going to reduce that right now. Previously, it had been a 30% cut transaction for every transaction made on the store, very similar to like Steam and mobile apps. Over the last few years, Epic has been aiming to gain a larger market share on the PC game as a PC game distributor by offering a better revenue split for developers. So I think they're like 10 or 12% as well. The change in revenue split is set to go in August 1st, but will remain only on PC. It won't move on to consoles either because like it won't move on to the Xbox because like Microsoft doesn't have anywhere to compete on the digital storefront of the Xbox, so why the fuck would they? So, what do you think, Drew? Do you think that this is gonna like put any pressure on Steam to like get lower than 30%?
Only if Microsoft would provide a service that is comparable to Steam, right? Like, what Steam doesn't just go, here's game, right? This is game, let's go game, right? Like it does so much more. Like it tailors the possible likes and interests of the the user, right, to what they could possibly want to play. You have the Steam Workshop, right, where players can generate content for a plethora of games, right, and make the games more interesting. Heck, they can even make money off of the workshop. What else have we got? Technical forums and things like that. I mean, fucking, I don't think the Epic Game Store even has like forum capabilities at the moment still, right? There's so much. I mean, tagging, like, so you can specify, like, this is a this is a third person game, this is a co-op game, this is a god sim, so on and so forth. There's just so much that Steam can provide that other platforms just flat out don't, right? Like EA, company with Origin, companies like, Ubisoft with Uplay, with, Microsoft with, as long as they just go, do you know what's a really easy thing to do? Let's just fucking copy Steam.
Yeah.
But they don't. They won't. Right? So if Xbox provides a similar service as Steam, right? And I'm talking like 80% of it, because they've done the bulk of the work for them, right? Yeah. Steam is like already laid, then I think that could give Steam a run for their money.
Do you think, like, this might be a crazy idea, but do you think that the Microsoft Store might become more appealing if they were to say the Microsoft Store on PC and Xbox is one platform? So if you buy games on PC, you can play them on Xbox too. If you buy Xbox games, you can play them on PC as well. Do you think that that's something that could be done or would be interesting for people to switch over to them?
Could it be done? Yes. Will it be done? I can't ever envision that ever happening. Right? Like, it would be one hell of a Christmas miracle for everyone if Microsoft said, you know what? We have enough money. So instead of buying a game twice, you buy it once and you have it everywhere. Like, I just...
Because...
I mean, hell, I was watching a review earlier today for Resident Evil 4. I didn't realize Resident Evil 4 had been re-released nearly as many times as Skyrim.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. It's like, what's it called? The PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 3, the PlayStation 4, the Xbox 360, the Xbox One, the Xbox, I think the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox XS.
Yeah.
The PC, and now Nintendo Switch.
It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy.
I don't know if it's on the Wii, but even so, it's just like, it's an insane number of things.
Yeah.
And...
But like, I do think that Microsoft might be the only one that's capable of doing that, because every PC that, like, is a gaming PC is Windows. Is Microsoft. I mean, I'm sorry, there are people in Linux as well. But Microsoft. Xbox is Microsoft. So, like, if they enable that, you will have pretty much, like, everyone will still play it on your systems, sort of thing.
I want to make a general sweeping statement. But the majority of the people I know that are my age, that have been playing PC games for as long as I have, hate Microsoft with a 10-foot barge pole.
Oh yeah, me too.
So if it's like, come join us on our swanky platform, like, nah, fuck off.
Yeah.
Couldn't give a shit. You're a bunch of scummy assholes. Like, no, fuck off.
Like,
don't care.
Seriously, what I just don't get sometimes is how we have such ubiquitous important services like OSs or like video or media hosting websites that are so important to people's daily lives, that play such a big influential role, where there's such a huge need and demand for them. But still, it is so hard to like have a competitor show up that is in any way decent. So like I look at like Microsoft and I'm sometimes staggered as to why it's so ubiquitous and why people love to use it. Because if I look at like how many times it just is slow as fuck, how many times it decides to randomly update, how many times it's like, oh yeah, we just decided to update your system and now all your work is gone and now all the how many times you just like run services where I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? How many times it changes up like UI and things? I'm like, what the fuck? Like I've been mad so many times at Microsoft, but I look at Apple and I'm like, God, no, I don't want to get into that because that's even worse. Might be more stable, but that's even worse. Then I look at Linux, I'm like, oh my God, I guess Microsoft it is. But like,
Yeah,
oh my God.
So Apple, right? I had to download an update for my work Mac, right?
Mm-hmm.
It took 5 hours to download the update and 2 hours to install. And I'm like, I can install Windows fresh faster than this. What the fuck's going on? Right? And it's oh my God. So yeah, I like they're all as bad as each other. Like everyone like when you're in my line of work, you just realize how shoddy craftsmanship is when it comes to anything and everything. Like, I was so there's a number of complaints. I'm going to bring this back to Warframe, right? And to signify like I don't agree with these complaints. There's a number of complaints around Railjack and regular missions. So the integration between the two. Have you played much Railjack with the Corpus Railjack?
I have played a little bit, but I don't like it that much.
That's fine. The important part is, do you know that when you've started the Corpus Railjack, you have to do a regular mission to finish it? Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, a lot of players want to be able to do both at the same time. But I've realized, through mumblings and people doing all sorts of, speedrunners who work out like So talking to people like Thalion, who used to be in a clan that would do endurance runs for hours and hours. I worked out the reason why we can't have multiple instances is not because of hardware limitations, because the game only has 30 AI enemies to kill at any one time. Right? It's not because of hardware limitations like, oh yeah, your PC's not gonna be able to hack it, because the game's buttery smooth. The reason is because of your internet connection. Right? I think because when I did the survival event with 3 other people, there were truck tons of infested in the environment at any one time.
At this point in time, you guys go over to Arbiters episode 188, where this thing was mentioned as Xeno's most favorite memory. iCart will be up here somewhere.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, you mentioned this. Like, I remember editing this. You were talking about, like, what is your favorite memory in the 8 years of Warframe? You're like, well, there was this one event, the survival event, where survival's brand new introduced sort of thing, like it was the first introduced event, and literally you would have like right now you have enemies like they're a lot smarter that would kind of like storm you, but it's not that much. And there you had to both care about like the life support, and you just had so many enemies storming that you were like an hour in, you were just being overwhelmed by so many enemies. And I think your RAM like would overheat, so like it would just burn down your PC. Oh man.
I would blue screen of death. But the important part of the story was Loz was the only one that could actually host the missions, because he was the only one that had the upload bandwidth to be able to do it. Because for everyone else, right, periodically the enemies, like most of the enemies would just stop moving, right? Whereas for like the host, it was perfectly fine. But like all the clients connecting, half the enemies would just stop moving, and then all of a sudden that player would die. Right. And they're like, why did I die? And it's because of this bandwidth limitation. Right. And so, I wouldn't be surprised if but like that's like, to me, that's an unreasonable like demand of the game. You can't just expect DE to like reinvent how bandwidth works, right? And so when you have limitations like that, I completely understand and appreciate it. But when you have limitations like, oh yeah, we couldn't be bothered to optimize the game, Ark Survival Evolved, so you just have to buy a bigger graphics card.
Oh,
Like,
did you hear that story of there was a GTA 5 modder who was able to shave, I think, up to 16 or 20 seconds off the loading screen by just doing some optimizations, and like as he was going through the code, and then like as he uploaded that mod, like the GTA Rockstar development team actually came around and said, "Oh, we're implementing that because that actually like makes loading times way faster." And they actually did give him some money, but that's like literally like someone just goes.
But yeah, that's the point though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, like some of the stuff that's cobbled together is like, you know, I get, oh god, like, you know, how many updates has Cyberpunk had? Like, I actually started playing Cyberpunk again last night, and I'm like, this does feel a lot smoother.
Oh my god! But speaking of like bad updates, you know, PlayStation is like the worst update platform ever, because like what they do is they have this thing where you like download, like you can download a 200 megabyte file and will take you like half an hour to 45 minutes, because what they'll do is they download like the small chunk because they don't want to download a lot of files. So like they'll tell the developers like only give people to download the new things, and then we'll go over a thing that's called copying the files. But actually what they do is just like, it's a thing where they just like put in the files and make sure that everything works, and it's like it takes so long. It's literally like,
could you elaborate on this?
So let me see if I can like find more information about like how it works. But like basically like what you have is it will download a 200 megabyte update, but it will take half an hour copying the update, as it says. But basically like what it downloads is like the new things, and then like it has to verify and check and structure everything. That's I don't like. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can
basically
find
it's patching it, right?
Yeah.
But it's doing it in such an awkward way. It takes literally ages to check.
Yeah. So
wow.
Hold on here if I can find let's see, what do I have this on? Wait, that's the wrong one. Okay, so why do PlayStation 4 updates take so long to copy after download? Like this was really annoying because like I remember like wanting to play Apex, it was like 100 megabyte update, and it took me like an hour, fucking an hour. So this PlayStation 4 is almost 7 years old right now. The fact that the PlayStation 4 needs a copy update is strange and annoying to many gamers, but the slow process of copying is necessary and can only be sped up by better hardware. So yeah, let's see. Many PS4 owners, while sitting through potentially hour-long copying sessions, likely wonder why it needs to copy in the first place. Other than a small patch for a game, often a small patch for a game, like a couple hundred megabytes or a couple like tens of megabytes, will download in almost no time at all, but then the PlayStation 4 enters copying update file stage, which takes so much longer. The process seems to have been added sometime in 2017, because that was something people desired, in an effort to avoid data corruption. Essentially, what Sony calls copying appears to be an extra safe way of installing smaller than normal update files. As explained, the copying process seems to be a side effect of Sony sending out bandwidth-saving small update files. If a game has a 20 gigabyte file, but only 5 megabytes of data that within it that needs to be changed, a developer can just send out 5 megabytes of data over the internet and let the PS4 do the rest. The unfortunate consequence of this bandwidth preservation is that in order to install the 5 megabyte change, the PS4 needs to rewrite, i.e. copy the entire 20 gigabyte file, integrating the 5 megabyte patch as it goes. This process makes it if the entire file had been downloaded fresh, reducing the risk of the 5 megabyte patch causing problems with any old conflicting data. As games continue to get bigger and bigger, this process will take even longer. If a 2.5 gigabyte patch consists of data that needs to be distributed over game files totaling 100 gigabyte, all 100 gigabytes worth of files need to be copied. This is the only way that this can be sped up is if the processor goes faster. So yeah, that is the way that works.
I disagree with if the processor is faster, because if the hard drive's faster as well, that could actually how, like typically, I believe the PlayStation's on a Platter hard drive.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this oh god. So on a motherboard, there's this thing called the North Bridge, right?
Yeah.
It's a very important chip that I think some time ago, did it get integrated? No, I think it actually got integrated into the processor. Yeah, so a long time ago, there used to be this chip called the North Bridge, and it used to actually be the interface between the processor and RAM. So if you had a slow North Bridge, right, it didn't matter what processor you had, it didn't matter what RAM you had. But think it was some generations ago. It was like before the i7. They amalgamated the Northbridge and the processor. So the processor does everything. Actually, hold on. Ow. This here, this MSI heatsink, right, is actually a heatsink off of the Northbridge.
Oh my god, that is very nicely made, though. I like that.
Yeah. So it was on one of work computers, and like a lot of my parts, like I typically go for MSI because I've not had issues. I've heard like MSI laptops and MSI pre-builts that there's problems with those, but like my hardware, like motherboard, graphics card, they're typically MSI, and because I'm a quote unquote MSI fanboy. The IT guy gave me these.
Honestly, I love it. I love it when Aramil says that they have them laying around at work as well. Like, I love it when companies do things where it's like they integrate a part and like it looks nicer than it needs to be, because like how many people will see that? But it's so functional. You get it. It's like, oh, it's so beautiful. Speaking of hardware looking nice or not nice, did you hear about that iMac? That iMac refresh.
Oh, what the fuck even? What the fuck even?
Yeah.
Could you? I don't know if you're able to specifically for this screen, right?
Yeah.
Are you able to flip me so I'm looking at the actual picture in the middle rather than?
Do
it another time. Do it another time. Just make a note of it and do it another time. But what the fuck even? Or you could just swap us around.
I swapped us around. Yeah, it is so weird. Like,
if work gives me one of these things, I'll be like,
yeah,
I'm gonna put it in the bin.
You know what I love is like that the entire idea. So this is a brand new iMac, and what they did is they make this thing so thin that even a headphone jack can't stand can't be like mounted one way, can only be mounted sideways because it's so thin. And it's like, when was the last time that I was like, oh my god, if only my computer desktop monitor wasn't so thick, then I would be able to. No, hold on. No. Oh my god, if only my desktop monitor was like a millimeter thick. No.
Hold on. I'm afraid I can't plug in that headphones jack because my monitor's dummy thick. But it's dumb. It's like
I'm trying to look at memes all day. I'm trying to be stealthy about it. My monitors are dummy thick, so they keep alerting the guard.
I keep trying to do my work, but the colors on this iMac are so dummy thick. Anyway, but like it's so fucking dumb though.
It is
so like. Who gives a shit what color their thing is? Like, okay, right. So legitimately, right, my PC is on the floor, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm throwing a bit of shade here, right? I cannot comprehend people that have Windows in their cases, right? Or RGB the fuck out of it.
Oh my god.
Right? Now, my gaming case, right? So my gaming motherboard has RGB backlights, right?
Yeah.
I discovered this by accident one day when I walked into my room. I was like, what the fuck is that? What the hell lights are those? What the hell? I shoved my head down there. I'm like, why are there lights behind the fucking motherboard? Right?
Yeah.
Like it is what it is, right? By the way, I don't typically leave the side of my case on. I for better airflow. People say, "Oh, it's not better airflow." Like, I'm sorry, if you know, bigger volume of space to transfer heat. I mean, fucking makes sense to me, physics and all.
Well,
anyway.
It's like I have RGB in this thing too because it was like a pre-build. And I hate it because sometimes I need to like leave my computer on. I know you have it on the entire time, but I sometimes need to leave it on because I have something to run. And it's just like, it's just shining bright. And if I just want to like sit in the room and like have it be dark, it's fucking bright. And I'm like, I don't care that there's a color. I don't look at my PC and be like, oh my god, that's color. Woo! It doesn't brighten my day, but it does make my nights fucking shit. So I don't get people's like excitement about it.
But like, is that just a screen as well, or is that actually a Mac?
No, I'm trying to see if I can find the video that's shared because they also show the internals. So like basically here, what they've done is so like this is basically the M1 chip. So like everything right now is literally an iPad. So like their entire lineup is basically an iPad. That iMac is an iPad. The iPad is an iPad, and like pause.
What the hell's that giant fucking strip at the bottom?
That is a chin where all the like internals are at because they can't place behind the screen because otherwise the screen gets too thick. Right?
I'm sorry.
Remember,
I'd much rather have it behind the screen than have this big fat ass bar at the bottom of the fucking monitor.
yeah, but otherwise your monitor would be too thick. It would be the width of like in the headphone jack. You can't have that.
Oh my god! Am I the only one that thinks this is dumb? This looks dumb.
The entire internet right now, as far as I'm aware, feels that it's dumb. So like right here, you can see like how thin it is. So like what they have, so like this right here is a power cable. You can get a color matching power cable. What they have, they've removed the Ethernet jack from the iMac, and like you can buy it as an optional accessory where you get a power brick with an Ethernet jack in the power brick because it otherwise doesn't fit in the PC.
So, all right. So my work Mac has a similar problem with this, where they've given us USB-C connectors for like on all the sides. You can't plug in an Ethernet cable. You can't. So we actually have to get dongles, right, to plug stuff in. I want to plug in my monitor. Oh, I actually have to get a dongle that converts USB-C to DisplayPort. Oh, I want to actually plug in a proper keyboard and mouse and not some horse shit. Oh, I have to get a dongle to put in USB-C to USB.
Yeah,
right.
Oh, man.
You know, it's oh my god.
So this right here is the internal design, and as you can see, like right where that chin is, that's where the entire computer is, and everything else is just connectors and heat sinks, and like literally this is just like an iMac board, or like right now it has the M1 chip. It's pretty much like an iPad. So that is your computer. And, like, it needs to have this ugly chin because otherwise the monitor would be too thick.
Like, the alternative I would do, right, is actually have, like, a wide base at the bottom.
Yeah, put it in the bottom.
And then, like, that would be the machine. But the only problem with that is they would want to hide the cable through the I don't know, the shaft. I don't know. And as a result, that has a prone to wear and tear. But fucking Macs are prone to wear and tear. And like the fucking shift key on my bloody Mac is busted as it is. Yeah. I haven't even used it for a year.
It is
actually longer.
It is honestly just like such a weird design.
What is that?
That's speakers.
Is that the speaker?
Yeah. They made like big ass speakers. So like that's their entire like design. It looks 2 times faster. I love when like you have these things there's like 2 times faster graphics, 50% faster graphics. It's like, yo man, means a lot. Thanks for those statistics.
Wait. 2 times faster and 50% are 2 different. No, that's 1.5 times faster. 2 times is an additional 100% faster.
2 times faster graphics, and we go to 2 times faster 50% faster graphics.
But that's 1.5 times. Do they not understand that?
Yeah, but it's Apple. You gotta be excited. It's good. You don't need to know what it means. It's new. Get it. Anyway, so like yeah, like that was a thing that happened, and like it was practically received by everyone as like an, oh god, okay, that's a thing now.
Yeah.
But knowing Apple, it will probably sell like hot buttery cakes. Oh man, oh man.
And it will sell, and then they won't support it, and then they'll charge you more money to repair it.
Oh yeah, or like they won't even repair. Speaking of repair, actually, you know what? That's a perfect segue. I'll bring it in right now. So right now there is a initiative being hosted by Louis Rossmann to get right to repair passed in the United States. So basically, what does right to repair mean? Basically, as far as I understand, a right to repair basically comes down to being able to buy parts in order to fix your devices, being able to like have the opportunity to fix your device. Now, a lot of people might be like, well, but I can already open up my Apple device right here. I can already open up my, like, I can repair it, right? Well, not really. So, like, if you want to start up a repair shop, a lot of times if you want to get to schematics, if you want to be able to find out, like, how does this device work, not necessarily in, like, a copyright way, but just being able to, like, trace out the patterns, like, have this schematic which shows, like, how does the motherboard function, which you can pretty much do, like, with your naked eye, but will take you a long-ass time to do.
Yeah.
And used to be, like back in the day, it used to be in consoles, it used to be in electronics, you just like open up the refrigerator and in there would be like a schematic as to like how it would work so you could fix it yourself in case something went wrong.
Yeah.
You can't get those anymore. It really needs to be like drug cartel style, like someone needs to like slip it, like put some schematics into their underpants and hope that they don't get caught and shot if they do, and then they sell them in the black market and then people get their parts.
Yeah.
And then like if you get those schematics, if you want to fix things, a great example is that in order to fix a $1,000 MacBook or $1,500 MacBook, sometimes like you need sometimes a repair shop needs chips in order to like fix those. And these chips aren't made by Apple. These chips are made by other manufacturers. And when these repair shops go over to these manufacturers and they ask, can I get this chip from you and I'll buy it from you? They're like, no, we can't because Apple forbids us from selling this chip. So in order to fix this $1,500 MacBook, which the only problem is one single chip, like people are going to have to go out of their way to like buy a charger, a charger for like another Apple device, which just happens to have that exact same chip, and then break open that device, throw everything away, but that chip, and then put that chip in there to make the MacBook work again. But then you're like, oh, but that's like that's like independent repair shops. What about Apple? Well, if you go to Apple, they won't fix it. They'll just turn around and say, well, that thing is busted. You buy a new one, because repair rates for your device are just ridiculous. And like we're talking about Apple right now because Louis Russman is mainly like like he runs a MacBook repair stores. Like he knows a lot about Apple, and that's kind of like where he comes from. But this is across the industry where like more and more you will see that like we like companies would love us if we like buy a device and then like, oh, it's kind of broken, let me buy a new one. And right to repair kind of like the movement is that they want to try and like make sure that you can still get your hands on parts for these what is it called, for these devices to repair, for these devices to last longer. It's not that like these companies need to provide the parts. It's not that these companies need to sell the parts, because like if you still like are obligated to sell parts of like a 20, 30, 40-year-old device, like that's ridiculous. But just not lock down these things where it's like, I can't buy a chip, I can't buy a thing, I can't get schematics, I can't get like just the basic things which I need in order to fix my device. Now that's going on right now. Louis Russman is trying to get this on in the United States via a direct ballot initiative. Now, what does that mean? A direct ballot initiative basically means, because like he's been trying to lobby this for years, where you kind of like go to the politicians and like say like, I think that this is really important because this pretty much like where we as citizens, we as people, we just don't have the freedom. We're being taken away this freedom to repair our devices, to care for the things that we have, and we're kind of being forced by manufacturers to just buy new and new and new things again. We don't even own our device anymore. And what you get is that basically, like, you'll have these lobbyists of like the big companies who are being paid a lot. Will just say like, well, you know, we'd like to discuss this further with you guys behind closed doors. Or they'll say, well, like if you take apart a microwave, then the magnezone in the microwave will be exploding. There's no magnezone in the microwave. But fuck it. It doesn't need to make sense. They just, like, nothing changes because they don't listen. So what direct ballot means is, like, that's something which is exclusive to the United States. In some states where if you push, like, if you have a certain amount of signatures, if you go for a certain procedure, basically when the next vote happens, people can't just vote on, like, basically on like, the politicians they want. They can also vote on certain issues where they can be, are you in favor of this law or are you against it? And then basically the majority of votes wins. And this already happened with automotive repair. Automotive right to repair has already passed, where you can go out to your like independent repair shop right now for your computer, get a mechanic, look at your car, fix tires, fix oil pressure, fix things in your car because they can get the parts. And he wants that to do the same thing in Massachusetts as well, because that's where automotive right to repair passed. He wants to get it passed right there because it has like he is working with the same team that done that for automotive right to repair. And the thing is, I may not live in Massachusetts, but the most important thing is, like, if something changes in some place, if the rules place in one place, doesn't mean that that's the only place that it will be affected. Because if at some point in time, like Massachusetts demands that this, like, companies need to change the way that they work, like everything's going to change. Look at Article 14, the way that that's shaped, or GDPR. Look at how that's shaped the entire world's internet experience. Like these companies need to change that. So if you want to support that, right now there is a let's see if I have the right button. Right here we have Let's Get Red to Repair Fast. He's set up a fundraiser for $6 million, which is the least that he needs in order to like realistically make this happen through a direct ballot. If he doesn't get to 6 million, he's already talks about, well, then like I'm going to sit with that party that got automotive right to repair passed, and we'll see if it's still realistic. If it's not realistic, we're going to go through with lobbying, which is going to be way more effective with every dollar that we have right here. But still, like hopefully they'll get to 6 million. Right now, you can see it's almost at 700,000, but there's a $100,000 extra donation which hasn't gone through GoFundMe, so it's actually at almost $800,000. So that's something, if you're interested in Red to Repair and you want to see this pass, I just want to bring it up to your attention.
That's excellent. Honestly, like that so many companies like to keep this stuff secret and hidden and stuff like this exclusively because then you have to go to them to get it replaced. It's the whole razor blade situation. You know, oh yeah, you can buy our razor blade, sorry, our razor for like nothing. Yeah. But to get razors, it costs a bomb. Right, you know, genuinely one of the reasons why I don't shave, right? It costs so much, right? To properly cut, it's like get this off, right? It's an entire razor blade each time, you know, and you know, like those, I don't know, I'll probably go like 15 quid a pack a week. So yeah, they're not cheap, right? Yeah. It's insanely expensive. You know, why are beards in? Because men cannot be fucked to shave. Right? But I really feel that this is a real good thing. This trying to prevent this kind of monopoly is really important. I think this is something laptop manufacturers can't, like they don't. They get away with it on a different level. Like you can't really repair laptops on a hobby level, right? That's just so much more work.
Well, but you can't, like independent repair shops can. Like there are people with the skill that, like basically, like they really recommend, if you've never seen Louis Rossman's channel, like go watch especially his board repair videos. Because I love to like repair some things. Where I recently repaired a PlayStation 3 controller with a piece of paper, because what you have is like you have this like what's it called, ribbon connector, which is basically like pushed up against like the PCB with a foam pad in order to like make the button connections like the signals pass through. But over time that foam just decreases, so like what you'll have is like the entire controller just like bugs out because all the connections just make no sense anymore. And if you put a piece of paper up there, the controller just works fine again. Now, that's repairs which I can do. But board repair with soldering, like, I always thought that it's completely out of the wheelhouse. You have to be a genius if you want to do that. But, like, you watch his videos, and it's, like he just takes you through the entire process from start to finish. And it's like, it takes a while to get used to the language about like, okay, like what we're looking for, but it's pretty much like, okay, there's no power. So let's take a look at the schematic right here, which is like a PDF of like, okay, so here are things, here's like a connector, and there are wires going from there to there. There's another chip, and you just go for like, okay, so there's no power. So like, where would power run through? It will run through here and here. Let's go check here if we have voltage. Okay, we have voltage here. Let's go, where would this go? Oh, there's no voltage here. Well, let's check around this chip that's in the middle. Oh, that's bad. Let's replace it. You replace it. The thing works again. It's like, it is not that hard. It's super tiny. It is very specialized work, but it's not impossible. And like these manufacturers like love for you to believe that it is impossible. No one can do it, because then you buy something new. For example, if you have a MacBook and basically like you have problems with your hard drive, or you have problems where, oh my god, this was a beautiful one, where basically like if you like, there are MacBook models where the power switch and the keyboard are connected on the same via the same connectors. So if you spill like a bit of water on your keyboard, basically your power button doesn't work anymore. If you take it to the repair shop, or like if you take it to the official Apple Care, they'll be like, well, there's water damage, we can't repair this anymore, you gotta buy a new one. Whereas if you replace the keyboard, things fixed. If you have data issues with your MacBook, and you take it to Apple Care, what they'll do is they'll just take out the hard drive, toss it away, throw in a brand new one, and then give it back to you, because you should have a backup.
Yeah.
Like that is literally their thing. Where most of the time, like it could also just be a chip that's wrong. You can replace it. You have all your files back. So that's a lot of times. Like really, I would recommend watch it because like I like personally, I'm really interested because it's like amazing when you see liquid damage. To me, just meant death. This means if my phone gets in touch or my computer gets in touch with liquid, it's dead. No way possible. And he just repairs liquid damage things. And like that's the thing. It's like you don't personally have to do the soldering, but it's just like being able to like go to another store where like or go to
Yeah.
another surfaceman where they're like, oh well, we can do that for like half the price. It's like sweet, just having more options. So I think like this is really really good.
No, it's really, really good. It is really, really good.
So yeah, that was a bit of a side topic because like we got to like repairing things. I've been following this somewhat closely. But
Next
yeah.
thing.
Let's say we have a topic right here, short topic, which is groundbreaking, actually. Oh my god. 500 days into Google Stadia, a new innovative groundbreaking update comes in, which adds a search bar. Oh my god. So, Google Stadia. Google Stadia has launched over 500 days ago now. It's made by Google, the search engine. Oh my god. And like it's been their cloud gaming service, which has been has had a great start. People have loved it. It's been very successful. It hasn't been. They definitely like started up their new or supported their independent game. No, they shut down the independent game development studio. But it's still going strong. You can go and like get into Google Stadia, pay the monthly fee, and also buy your game separately because fuck it, give Google all your money. But yeah, so like they've added this week they're rolling out a new update which will add a search bar to your Google Stadia store and libraries. You can search your games that you may own or may want to buy, which no one has ever done before. No one has ever thought of like adding a search function. Not Google the search, and no, fuck no. And they're rolling out new updates as well because Stadia is so successful, and they're going to make Stadia run in your Android browser as well. Are you excited about these new features for Google Stadia? Do you want to buy it, Drew?
Android browser? What the fuck are they talking about?
Well, normally you could go and like run it in the app, but now if you don't want to download the app, you can also Google Stadia on your phone and for your browser, and then you just exit it for that.
Stupid. So stupid. So stupid. Who on earth thought of this stupid ass idea? This is a stupid idea. The only reason why they won't let it die is because GeForce is so successful.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's like, oh my god. Oh, but if we kill it off, then they have a monopoly. It's like, yeah. And
yes,
how many people are fucking using it?
Actually, so I've seen something which, like, I kind of want to. I'm curious about your opinion about it. Also, the people watching who might be hardcore PC gaming enthusiasts or just like casual gamers. But right now, I'm seeing more and more tech YouTubers, especially Linus Tech Tips, recommending people to try out like game streaming services. Now I know that like to the majority of like the hardcore PC gaming enthusiasts, that is not necessarily something that you'd be happy to hear about because most of us like want to own a hardcore PC setup rig. But like the thing that they're arguing is that, well, basically like you can kind of get by a new processor these days. That's somewhat of a possibility. You can kind of get a new like motherboard. Well, actually, you can get a new motherboard. You can get like a lot for your PC. Actually, SSDs are kind of becoming like storage is becoming the next big victim because there are now cryptocurrencies that are focusing on not like GPU to confirm sort of thing, like not GPU labor, but on storage labor. So it might just be. Yeah, so it's like they have a new method where instead of like they have this proof of identification sort of thing. The proof of identification was like working with the GPU process, and now it's like having storage available or something like it's hopefully it won't come through, but like if it happens, then like that'd be very fucking annoying.
Say goodbye to your SSDs.
Say goodbye to your your storage HDD SSD. You'll be fucked. But anyway,
no, you know SSDs have a limited number of rewrites, yeah.
Oh,
before they die.
Yeah.
Not like a platter hard drive, but you know. So yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so
SSD.
Back to the thing. Basically, you can kind of get your hands on a whole computer except for the GPU. So what they say is like, if you really want to get a computer right now, buy a computer except for the GPU, and as long as the shortest are lasting, get like a game streaming service like NVIDIA GeForce Now, because then you can still play your games on your system while you're waiting on your GPU. And I was wondering, what do you think of that? Do you think that sound advice? Do you think that that's something you would recommend or use yourself as well, or not?
No, it's definitely not something I would use myself because I don't have the internet for it. Right? My internet is just pants in comparison.
Hmm.
And I think that is something that's like massively overlooked by Linus, right? I just because I live in the second largest city in the UK doesn't mean I can get fiber internet, right?
Yeah.
And if I want my game to look dope as hell,
Hmm.
right? I'm going to need fiber internet. Like hell, the number of times I go on to Twitch and I have to reduce the quality of the stream. Like if I come across someone and they haven't got transcoders, I'm fucked, right?
Yeah.
I just have to stop watching them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's also why I'm so focused on transcoders, because I
yeah.
know that if I don't do that, like people won't be able to watch, or I'll have to stream it like 160p. But like seriously, like it's bad. And like what you're saying is like
What
I'm
do you mean
here.
160? Oh, right.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
160p.
Sorry. Sorry.
So like what you're saying about like living in like one of the largest cities of the UK and like not getting fiber. It's like I don't get what fiber is happening with, because I also live like right in the center of like the Dutch civilization, like literally like the largest city, and
Mm.
I'm still like using internet on like a cable that was laid, what is it, 50, 60, 70 years ago, to like contain voice dialogue for phone lines. Like we're still using like the standard copper phone lines,
Ah,
and they're like,
the problem isn't there. Um, so if your infrastructure is anything like, don't know if I want to do this.
what do you want to do?
Do you fancy a challenge
What's
on
the
the
chat?
fly chat?
Oh no, you want to do a speed test?
No, what the fuck are you
Okay.
talking about? No, I want you to oh no, I can't do this. Fuck. I was gonna do some screen. Oh, could I? Okay, I'm gonna try something. Right. You're gonna have to share your screen. So let me see if I can actually get this set up first.
All right.
Real quick. And
In the
then
meantime, Ariel says, I understand why people would get something like GeForce Now. It would only be a good option for me personally if my PC dies. I can see that. Yeah.
it's
I'm,
not a good option for me.
yeah. But, like, that's the thing. I was actually speaking to someone today who actually got a 5950 X, like, at this, like, just when it came out in October, or, yeah, October. And it, like, had broken, and they sent it for return because it was broken. And, like, AMD just said, like, oh, sorry about that. Here's money back. And they were like, what? But I got that. No, but money back. And that's something which I've heard like is happening a lot when it comes to GPUs and CPUs right now. If you get one, it's broken, and you return it, well, you just get your money back because they can't give you a new one, which is unfortunate.
So if I hit this and then
So yeah, we're doing something special.
yeah,
I have
you're
no
gonna have
idea what is
to
going on. I have no idea what it's going to be expected. I just know it's a challenge, and I know I should be afraid. So I'm massively afraid right now. I'll just like go into hiding or something. But
need
yeah,
to
one thing that just like I just don't get is like people in the countryside that live so far away from like civilization sort of thing. They all get fiber, and like we're here like pretty much in the heart of the country, and there's just no fiber, and I just don't get it. It's fiber's been out for so many years right now, and I'd say that like they'd start with like the heart of civilization sort of thing, just lay it out there, because that's where like a lot of people tend to need it. Not that if you're in the countryside you don't need it, because seriously I love the countryside, but I'm just like, it's just staggering me like how long this has taken to like get out there. That feeling when even manufacturers have no hardware. Yep. And like they're actually the funny thing is, Aramo, is like they're actually scalping themselves right now. I think that it was MSI and what was it? Another company. Oh my god, there have been a couple of companies that just like straight up just said we're raising the price on our GPUs. It's like, okay, why? Well, we're raising the price on our GPUs because we can. And yeah, that's just been happening, and it's honestly for the consumers, it's like a horrible landscape, and it's just sad.
so hopefully Michelle can join the thing I've just sent him. So I'm gonna talk for a moment to see if he can. He'll probably have to mute the tab on his web browser to make sure I'm not echoing. I really hope I don't echo. If I'm start echoing, please everyone scream in chat. We'll see how well this works.
All right,
I'm gonna make sure I don't constantly scroll down.
hold on. Do I have to use my camera here?
No. You don't have to use your camera. Make sure you got your camera and microphone muted, so you don't echo or anything. I mean, it should be fine.
All right.
So.
All right, here we go. Everything is muted.
Okay.
Ask him to join.
You're asking to join?
Yeah.
Hold on. So, like this. Yeah, can you not share the screen at the moment?
Yeah, it's away.
Okay. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah?
Yep.
So
I am
as long as
sharing the screen now. Is that right?
Yeah, as long as like there's no good indicators of okay, cool.
Hi everyone. It says drawing, yep.
Cool. So what I'm going to talk to you about is the infrastructure of how the internet works.
Mm-hmm.
So this is your house, right?
Yeah. Wow, that's a pretty good drawing of it, actually.
You have a really, really nice house. It has a giant M outside.
That's
of
right.
it.
How do you, dude? You're not doxing me, aren't you? Like, are you going to put my address under there? No.
But then what you'll find, typically, if it's anything like us, you have a junction box out in the street. Now, ours are these little green boxes and things like this. And typically what happens is you have everyone talk via the junction box.
Yeah.
Then around the area, you'll have loads of different junction boxes. So you got like, so junction box 1, junction box 2, junction box, weird junction box 3, and they will talk to a building that is typically obscured to look like a house, but it has no doors or windows. And this is called an exchange. So all the junction boxes talk to the exchange. And typically, when you're upgrading to fiber, you're actually upgrading these cables, right? Because these are much cheaper quality cables. They're like your standard these ones, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is that they're cramming everyone's house's information on the same sort of quality cable, so it gets easily overburdened.
Yeah.
Yeah, does that make sense? Whoopsies. So when you're saying that this is 70 years, fuck, imagine I can spell properly.
Yeah.
Old, right? That's not the problem. The problem is when this is 70 years old.
Yeah. Like,
so I wouldn't be surprised if this cable here is more like 10 years old.
Yeah, but we still don't have fiber. And like Aramil says, they're laying fiber here later this year. To be fair, I live in the countryside far away from society in the Netherlands. Well, as far as I've seen, it's like if you want to get fiber, live as far away from big cities as possible because you're going to get it. You're 100% going to get it. And it's like again, like I love the countryside myself as well. But the thing is, like, I always had this idea that when new things would come out, new infrastructure, like you'd see like these, what is it, solar panels, street lights or something, or these, like, whenever they would come around with new technologies, they would always like implement in the cities first because that's where like a lot of people are. That's where like a lot of money goes to like upgrade the infrastructure because a lot of people work there. Yeah. Like a lot of people go. I thought, okay, fiber, best place to do it is in the cities because that's where everyone is. That's also where these junction boxes will probably be like overflowing with people because like instead of having one person on like a 1 square kilometer place, you have like 100 people because they live in a tall flat sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, no. We'll just do it like outside first. And you know what? Screw you guys. Just have fun with it. It's like, it's so weird because everyone expects you to be like when you're in the network city. They expect you to just like be so connected, and it's like, well, that's just not the case.
It's really weird because like I live, I think, maybe a mile and a half to 2 miles away from Birmingham city centre, where before I used to live, God, I think it was like 8 miles away from Birmingham city centre. 8 miles away, I could get fibre,
Mm-hmm.
right? But the other one, what was the other one? 8 miles away, Birmingham city centre. But 2 miles
Yeah.
away, can't.
Aramil says it's way easier to lay down new infrastructure when there is none to begin with.
None is a surprising term, but like my parents live, was it 5 miles away from the nearest exchange, so they'd have to redo all of that cabling and everything. But me, Birmingham city centre, no. And the worst thing is half of my street has fibre, the other half doesn't.
Oh my
That
god.
just means that they haven't wired up the junction box properly.
That's just crazy. That's just absolutely crazy. And in the meantime, you just have to do it. I think that like Linus has like really high speed internet because they're directly connected to the exchange. I think that that's something that they did. Actually, one thing which I recently learned about is that apparently streamers, some big streamers tend to like have this practice where they have two internet connections. So they'll sometimes have that one internet connection fail, so they'll like use another. Which is very interesting. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
How would you even go about getting two internet? Maybe we can get you two internet connections, and then like two internet connections for you, and like maybe it will probably be almost as fast as like one normal one.
No, so back at my parents, we used to have two phone lines. One was for the internet, the other one was for phone calls. Because when we were on dial-up, well, as soon as you pick up the phone, disconnect the phone line. So, but then they got rid of the second one because it was like, well, we're just getting nothing but spam phone calls on it, and there's no reason to keep both of them.
Yeah. Remember payphones on the street?
God, yeah.
If they were still around today, like, would someone have figured out a way to like hijack that line and like turn it into like a data connection thing?
Oh my dude, you do not know about Captain Crunch.
Oh, what was up with Captain Crunch?
So Captain Crunch is a cereal, right?
Yeah.
Right. I know I've told the story before. Captain Crunch is a cereal, but when you bought the cereal, you would get like different prizes inside. One of the prizes was this penny whistle, and basically people, like someone would go to a payphone booth and actually blow the whistle down the phone, because the receiver could actually still hear things, right?
Yeah.
So you blow the whistle down the phone, and then it was giving like free phone calls.
Oh my god.
Yeah, free phone calls around the world and everything.
To be honest, I've actually been very curious about that because you mentioned it in Arbiters, and you said that like you were talking about the same story about like Captain Crunch. You had these whistles, and if you blew the whistles down the phone lines, then you would activate, and then Hydroxid said the nuclear codes, and then you said, "All right, we'll leave it at that." I was actually like, "Well, I'm actually quite curious."
Oh yeah. So basically, you just got free phone calls, right? Just, so you just blow down the phone, and so it's like payphones. So people were able to hack the payphones. It was brilliant.
Oh, that is just wonderful.
Captain Crunch.
Captain
The
Crunch.
hacker named himself Captain Crunch after the cereal.
Oh, that's wonderful. Like, imagine discovering that hack. Like, that was recently. So, like, I sometimes started watching Spiffing Brit, and he recently had, like, a video where he's like, you could literally get free money through, what was it? The EA Access and Origin. So the way that it worked is like on Steam you can buy EA Access or like EA Pass, EA Play, which is like the monthly subscription where you can play all EA games as long as you pay the subscription. So like what you would do is you buy that for like 1 month for like $5 or something, and then you could go to Origin and like you buy it on Steam, and on Steam you can if you get that product and you download it, you can view your product key for the thing that you legitimately got, because I
course.
mean, like, well, you have it as a
Yeah.
subscription, so
Oh,
like,
yeah,
but you can
yeah.
get that key and you can copy paste it into Origin because that's a legit key. You unlock the full game.
Oh my
However,
god.
what you can do is, first of all, you can unlock all these games for you forever and then cancel subscription. But what you can also do is you can buy that thing that for $5 a month, buy that thing, get all these keys, and then throw them onto like onto these like key selling websites and make around $8 to $10 off of like selling your keys for your EA games. Like, which will be legitimate and
God.
perfectly fine keys. And you can just repeat that over and over again because the price of 1 month EA play is less than like the amount of money that you gain by just selling those keys.
Oh my
So
god.
it was literally a way of getting free money.
Wow, good job, EA.
So like I think they patched that, but like that was honestly like I remember watching that video and being like, oh my god, that is insane. And he recently figured out a way to like get infinite likes on your YouTube videos, or basically by going into like the YouTube Studio app and like very quickly like pressing like and dislike on a video that you just released while it was your account, and like getting a couple people to do that at the same time, you could generate just like thousands of likes, and these videos would actually perform better because they would start out with like 2 views and 10,000 likes.
Wow.
And basically, it would just like exploit a bug where what you would have is like the system like updates like doesn't update in real time sort of thing. Well, how many likes it is, like it just like checks every while like how many likes are. So just like it will just adds it on there and like boom, like I don't know if they fixed that.
Would the likes disappear afterwards?
No, they would stay on.
Oh my god.
So they've tested it with a couple of videos, and they've also tested with a couple of videos on their channels, where like they were like, well, maybe our videos are too different, but like they tested it on another channel which was way different, which always uploads the same sort of content, and it just like shut up like 25% or something.
Wow, crazy.
Speaking of YouTube being crazy, you know short videos like 2 minutes or less. You watch any creators that make short videos?
Yes.
Do you like short videos that are like 2 minutes or less?
Well, I don't know why you're saying 2 minutes. They're 1 minute or less.
Yeah, I mean 1 minute or less. Like, do you like them as well?
I do. When YouTube knows how to actually recommend something worthwhile, yes.
All right,
Most
so
of it's just trash.
so how dare you be so unadvertiser friendly? How dare you watch very short content because YouTube fucking hates it now? Apparently, for the last couple of weeks, like creators that made short videos, like up to 2 minutes, basically just had no ad revenue on there. Like they just got no ads anymore, and they messaged YouTube about it. And YouTube was like, "Well, this is working fine as intended. I don't know what you're complaining about." And after I think it was the real Solly G who makes automaton videos, which are always like 1 to 2 minutes max. Made a video about it that kind of went around the internet. YouTube finally turned around and said, "Oh yeah, that was a problem in the infrastructure where no ads were served on short videos, 2 minutes or less. So we're fixing that now. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. Sorry about the missed ad revenue for like the past so many weeks, but fuck yeah."
Oh wow, yeah. I've just noticed like the revenue's just massively dropped off for me.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I guess it's time for podcast. I hope you enjoy 10-hour long videos because that is what's going to be coming up to you.
It's mental though, like because YouTube just never thinks this stuff through at all, ever. You know, like I'm wondering if I should just sack off the shorts.
How
like,
have the shorts been going for you, man?
So they've been doing well. Like, you know, some of them get thousands of views, some of them get hundreds of views, some of them get tens of views. But for little effort. But the thing is, my channel is still hemorrhaging subscribers. Still no idea why. And I'm just having a look at Arbiters. Like yesterday's Arbiters has done very, very poorly. Like it's only got 285 views in a 24-hour window. That's the lowest yet.
Okay, so like I kind of want to discuss two things, which first going to be YouTube Shorts, and then something a little bit about like Warframe stuff. But like I first want to get into Shorts. Is that I haven't gone into Shorts yet because like a couple of reasons. First of all, like I didn't really have a great idea as to like what to make of it. what kind of shorts to make. Secondly, I can see like the value in like having so many views. Like some shorts have really blown up, but at the same time, I feel it's like memes. Like there are so many memes that have like thousands of views, but like what does it mean? It's like how many people actually engage with it. But what I've also found is that I've seen so many channels that made like good consistent reviews or good consistent quality content, edited content, and then make shorts, and it's just like, oh, here's just me, just with very uninspired gameplay, and I'm just like, yeah, I didn't even think about this. I just took clips from my stream, which I thought were funny, and good job. And now their entire like, if you go to their channel, you click on videos, it's just like 20 shorts until their last like quality video. And honestly, like when I look at the channel like that just kind of puts me off because it's like it's literally like it's not like on a separate tab on the desktop where it's like, okay, so like, hey, I click on videos, there's like this shelf where there's like shorts. No, it's like it's shown as videos, and because of that, it just seems like this channel is putting out like 8 to 10 like crap garbage random shorts where they don't even spend a lot of attention on. Like you still do like intros, you still do like editing to it, you still make it something, but some people just don't. And there's like one quality video, and then like it's all like it kind of gives me the same feeling, which I think some people might have with my channel right now, where because I don't post that many videos, like my channel looks like it's just like podcast channel plus like sometimes videos, which I know isn't the greatest look, but like I know that for shorts, like I think that for some channels it's really really bad because it can put off like a massive chunk of their original audience that was there for their videos, and doesn't really care about like these shorts if they're not well done. And then they're like, well, if this is like all the videos which I see on their page, they're just like, well, fuck it, I'm unsubscribing. And then like the views that you get, that you do get for shorts, are just people that are like, oh, I'm just scrolling for like my shorts tab, and oh, there's something, and they don't really engage with. So I don't know whether that trade-off of like possibly more views, because I have seen them blow up. Like you've had some shorts which really blew up. I don't know whether that trade-off in shorts is worth it for like losing low subscribers sometimes. Maybe
it's really difficult to say, really, because YouTube is one hell of a fucking fickle beast, right? It's like, you've seen all those memes that like are derogatory towards women, where it's like, man, what's it called? Men only think of one thing, and it's fucking disgusting, right? Or the guy checking out the other girl where his girlfriend's next to him, and she's like giving him the filthy eye sort of thing, or what's it called? The couple that are laying in bed, and the girl's thinking like, bet he's thinking about other girls, and the guy's like thinking about food or something like this. There's the fickle nature of those memes is literally YouTube, right? I honestly don't think there is anything more fickle than YouTube. Not even the internet, like the 4chan, Reddit, Twitter. I don't think they are like as communities are nearly as fickle as YouTube is, the algorithm, right? YouTube has had a number of changes in terms of the algorithm as of recent, right? And it's absolutely mental. Like I've actually had good recommendations from YouTube, right? So there's a channel called oh god, I can't remember. So there's
that's a good name.
Girlfriend Reviews is one of them, right? Excellent channel. I strongly recommend people to check them out. Sometimes the reviews aren't that great. Sometimes the reviews are absolutely hilarious. But she does reviews of games as the passenger, not as the the actual player themselves. And I think honestly they're a really, really good channel. There's another channel that I'm just going to see if I can quickly find. Scott Falco. All right, Scott Falco is another one that was recommended to me. And again, he does really good videos as well. But it's just like, so YouTube is finally getting an idea of how to do good recommendations. But, like, what's the correct content? Like, so basically, as soon as something picks up, right? Like, oh yeah, everyone's doing YouTube shorts. Do it for like a week and then just stop doing it. No. Because YouTube will just like, no, we don't like this. We don't like the people doing shorts. That means they're not doing other form of content. Like, it's really difficult because I was losing subscribers when I wasn't doing shorts, and I'm also losing subscribers when I am doing shorts. So that would indicate to me shorts have got nothing to do with me losing subscribers.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
it's kind of like my Twitch, where like I have since the start of the year just been losing followers on Twitch, and no one has shown up in the stream saying, "Oh man, this is bad." Or like before before the end of the year, like we were gaining, and now it's losing. I've just decided to like stop caring. But it's like it's really weird. Another thing, actually, like before we move on to like the second thing that I want to talk about, I'm gonna make you very, very happy right now, and I'm gonna like post this in our Discord, but I'm also like gonna like put it up on screen. This is something which I just saw as a meme today, and I think that YouTube is like legit rolling this out, and I just wanted to see your instant reaction on this.
Well, hold on, I need to see this better. This one sparks joy.
So it's a regular, known quality slider. This one
What
doesn't.
the hell?
So what you find here is something that YouTube is introducing, apparently. I haven't seen it yet, but it's called, if you want to go to your quality settings for your video, you have auto, recommended, adjust the best experience for your condition. Higher picture quality, uses more data. Data saver, lower picture quality. Or advanced, where you can then go into your menu where you can select 1080p, 720p, 480p, 360, 240, 144.
What the fuck, YouTube?
Right?
Stop fucking with this shit.
I know, right?
Do you know that?
How can they fuck this up?
Do you know that the playlists are broken in YouTube?
What's going on with the playlist?
So you can't slide shit around anymore on. So if, like, let me double check to make sure I'm not being a giant numpty. But typically, I have. Nope, still broken. I have a currently watching playlist. Like I'll go through the recommended stuff and I'll like, oh, I'll add that to the playlist. I'll add that to the playlist. I'll add that to the playlist. Right. So I have like I'm on currently watching 16. Right. So I've got 16 playlists of currently watching. If you know, but I used to be able to just like I don't really fancy watching this gameplay of Hades for an hour right now. I'll drag it further down the list. Or, I can't watch this thing by the Anime Man. I need to drag it because it's got subtitles. I need to drag it further down the list when I'm free to watch it. Nope. The drag and drop feature has completely broken, and it's been broken for like 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
And it's just like, how did you break this?
Yeah.
How in hell did you fucking break this?
Well, like something which is like immensely pisses me off, and like it almost goes to a point where I'm like, fuck, I kind of want to like start building my own like video platform. like I have honestly been thinking about this. Like I think we also had a discussion about this, like how a video platform might be set up which could deal with like the data elements, because like the video hosting platform is basically the biggest problem is your data problem. Like, how are you going to offer a free platform where basically people can offload infinite amount of data on your servers, and you're going to have to accompany them at high bandwidth? That's your problem. If you can figure out how to store that data, or like how to like cost effectively deal with that data, like YouTube itself, like it has an algorithm, it has a search engine, but if you can offer that, you're halfway there. However, it's just like the thing which I just do not understand is that companies start out and you have these people who are like, oh man, I want to make a product that makes the world better. I want to make a product that makes people happy. And if people have complaints, I'll listen to them and I'll try to make it better.
Yeah.
And YouTube is like, we're going to make things worse, and we're going to pretend like we think it's good. So we are removing quality options because it's going to be a better user experience. Everyone is like, fuck no, this is worse. And we're putting it through anyway because, you have no say in this. Fuck you. Oh, what are you going to do? Use another service? We're doing YouTube Rewind. Oh, it is so wonderful. This is so not our community. Oh, it's so wonderful. Oh, you hate it? Oh, well, fuck it. It's like, why? Like, I don't get it. How can anyone at that company, with all those decisions that they're doing, oh, let's remove community closed captions on Deaf Awareness Week. Whoever was in their goddamn minds that was in there was like, oh yeah, this is a good idea. No, I think it's a perfectly fine idea. I think it's fantastic. I'm like, I do not get it. I do not get it. Like, there's so many decisions where I'm just saying, like, YouTube, come on. Like, what is going on with you? Like, how can anyone work at that company and be like, yeah, no, this is a very smart idea. Oh yeah, these quality options are a very smart idea because definitely people like really don't understand what numbers mean, and it's I don't get it. Oh yeah, let's fuck around with playlists because people already really hate like yeah, no, that I just do not get the recent thing where they're like we're gonna remove dislikes. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
They're like, so what we want to do is because people don't want to see negative feedback, we're going to remove dislikes. You can't see the amount of dislikes on the video anymore, only the likes. Well, there's already a feature on YouTube where you can remove the publicly shown like and dislike ratio. So you can only click like and dislike. I always click dislike because I just think that, you know, if you post a video online and you want me to like or dislike is, display the numbers. If you don't, I'll just dislike it because, you know, otherwise just remove the option, but fuck it. I mean, the thing is that like you already have this feature where you can hide this. And now they're like, no, but like, people still want to be able to like see that people like it, but not dislike it. So we'll just introduce like a dislike, and you can't opt in or out of this. We'll just like throw it on you if we. It's like why? Who the fuck would want that? It's like you already have this option where you can hide this. How do you think that this would be a better fucking world? I just do not get it. How people can sit there and like at the end of the day, like just be like, oh man, that was a good day at work. We did good in the work. You did not. There are so many people out there online, like. Just saying, like, this is not a good, and you're just sitting there like, oh yeah, just come to us via Twitter. Yeah, we'll not respond to you.
Like, how do people find these upcoming features? Because, like, you know, I type in YouTube upcoming features, and I just get garbage. It's like, you know.
I don't know. But it's just so frustrating. And, like, the thing which I just really, really hate about this situation is that like the internet was supposed to be or is supposed to be displays where or like actually the free market is supposed to be displays where companies are kind of like watched by the people that use them. So like that's the entire idea of the free world, where because everyone has like is like valued equally, or like if you are like you're choosing your government, if the government does bad, you'll choose another government. So like you're kind of keeping each other in check, and it's the same thing with companies. Like if a company does bad, like people will stop using that company and they'll go to a competitor. But now we're at a place where even though everyone uses the internet, like seriously, there is just no competitors to YouTube. There's no competitors to Twitch. There's no competitors to Microsoft. There's no competitors to Apple.
Yeah.
And like we're seriously in a situation where it's not that the companies are like, okay, well, we're in a situation where everyone uses us and we have like massive amounts of money to like use at our disposal. Let's make sure that our platform is usable by everyone. People just like it, and we just like trying to address many different things. We don't have to make one thing for everyone. We can just go and make sure that like, you know, we'll make sure that we don't make things work. And they constantly, it's not just like one thing once every while. Like when was the last time that YouTube did something where everyone was like, oh my god, that was a good job, oh that was great? Every single time that YouTube comes out and says they're going to change something, it is always making it worse. And it's like literally, like I remember back when I was, I don't know, when I was 12 or something, I got my first computer. I was looking forward to updates. I was like, oh man, updates, my machine's gonna get better. Right now, I honestly believe that updates will always make things worse unless proven otherwise. Like, look at YouTube. When I got YouTube on this right here, on my iPod Touch right here, iPod Touch 3rd gen, I could use the thing, I could go out of my, like, I could lock the screen, I could listen to the video playing. That was a feature that YouTube had. There were no ads on YouTube. YouTube came around, they were like, oh, here you go, 5 fucking ads per video, here you go, fucking you can't play it around, you fucking can't play the thing anymore unless you lock the screen. I was able to watch creators online that I enjoyed. Maybe if they made a bit of edgy humor, I could watch them online. Now, all of a sudden, it's like, oh no, oh, you mentioned something bad. Oh, yo, you said a bad word. Whoo, oh, fuck you, get off the platform. I'm so tired of that. Anyway, sorry about that, but I just
No, I totally get it. I'm honestly, I'm just trying to find the features that, like, you know, like how the hell did you find this?
I was literally just going through my memes. That's where I get my news right now because I don't really read news sites anymore. I was going through memes and I stumbled across this meme and I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I gotta save this because this seems absolutely legit. It might be fake, but anyway, like let me see if I can find that thing back. But like seriously, I came across was like, let me go find it. Let me just go save this. And since we were talking about YouTube, I was like, let me go share this thing. But yeah, let me see if I can find it back. Like I just found it today. As I was going around.
Yeah, I've just done. Oh, there we go. I can find it on the Reddit, YouTube Reddit.
Yeah.
Um,
Always check your facts, guys. Very important. Yeah, I mean, like, this is not something which, we're not like I'm not saying that this is a factual show. Like, don't do that. Like, this is just a bantering show. And this is also not a topic that I prepared. This is just something I came across with. Like, okay, this is a meme. What do you think of this? So, but seems like Drew found. I also found it right here. But yeah, let me see here. Do I have the comments here? Anyway, I don't know. It is right here, and like people are talking about it. We're like, well, like we've already seen this, but anyway. What was the other thing? I don't know. That was like recently something again with. They keep on doing. Anyway, let's get to the second thing. Let's get to the second thing because we're not necessarily talking about YouTube. We're actually talking about your videos and like how Arbiters was doing. Like, actually didn't do that great yesterday and recently. Also, are you still there? Have you frozen in space and time? Seems like Drew is frozen in space and time. Let me freeze in space and time as well. Actually, that will make for a very, very weird podcast. I'll see if Drew is still there. Let me go and message him right now, asking him, have you frozen in space and time? His internet has died!
I'm back.
Oh, he's back!
I'm back.
He is back! Space and time has reset itself and returned to normal. Or not?
Yep. No, I'm back. Right.
Okay.
Sorry. God, what did I say? Can't remember.
I don't know.
Fuck. I said something. I'm like, why aren't you responding to me, Michelle? Why are you pulling that face, Michelle?
I was like waiting for you to like say something. I was like, okay, well, you know what?
No, I can easily believe that YouTube thinks that this is a good idea.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we were talking about like your Arbiter series. Like the one thing was like about the shorts that it's actually we were talking about. Like, but there was like another thing that I was wondering about, especially when it comes to like Warframe videos, and I think this kind of got to do with Warframe. But like, I kind of want to know your opinion on it because you played a lot more than I do. This time of year, like I actually went back to like look at like what kind of streams I did over the years, and I did like 2018 I did 260 streams, and 211 of those streams were Warframe streams. Then last year I did like 160 streams, and like probably like 40 of those were like Warframe streams, and now I've done only 2 Warframe streams this year. So it's like there's a change in like how much I play it. But the thing which I find is that like I think generally like if I look at the main Warframe channels, like you're like if I look at Iflin, Burrowseam, Tactical Potato, Ashishogi Tenno, DK doesn't do Warframe anymore, but like the main Warframe channels, basically all their views are just down. It's just a trend amongst Warframe channels. And the thing which I feel, and I very much feel it also because like I'm editing the Arbiters episodes, and like I'll hear what you talk about every week. And like one thing which I think is very notable to me, and I'm curious about your opinion about this, is that I feel that Warframe's community tends to become like rather nostalgic, where it's like whenever you guys talk about, or whenever we talk about anything, but like also you with like other people that really enjoy Warframe, whenever anyone within Warframe talks about things in Warframe, it's always like, yeah, remember like how cool that was in 2018. Oh yeah, the second dream. Oh, so we have this new update, and it kind of feels like how the void system was back then. Oh, this thing just feels like how it was back then. Everyone like I don't know whether it's because like I'm biased with the people that like I'm watching the people that like have been there for years, but I feel like with every single video that comes out, also, when I brush Burrowseam or Iflin or like other Warframe creators, it's kind of like, yeah, here's the new stuff, and it's kind of like comparable to like before. Is it as great as it was before? I don't know. Or like, oh man, this really has that feeling that I had in 2017. Like it feels like Warframe's community more and more seems to be kind of like living in the past, where it's like, oh, remember how great it was. And I don't know whether that's something which is accurate for you, like being more involved with Warframe, and whether that might have an effect on like how people are like searching for Warframe anymore, because it might like I feel like Warframe isn't at least on YouTube, the exciting big thing anymore where everyone is like jumping on sort of thing. As Aramil says, being a Warframe creator is hard nowadays.
It is really hard nowadays. I think one thing to touch base on is the fact that there's a stark difference between playing the game and then watching content for the game, right? And I feel that the information is a lot easier to get. So like if you want a tutorial, right? How do I play Garuda? It's a lot easier to jump on Twitch, find a content creator, and then just say, hey, how do I play Garuda?
But Twitch views are down massively as well.
Yeah, you're not wrong, right? But at the same time, I also feel that it's because the content we've been getting has been not up to their usual standards, right? So if if Call of the Tempestari came out and we actually got the Queen pins, then I think that the viewership in Twitch would be a lot higher, right? But I think that the people that watch the game or what have you aren't necessarily the people that play the game, because the Steam numbers are still pretty damn strong, right? They haven't dropped like a Sakaduki.
Yeah.
But the YouTube side of things, that's definitely dropped, right? There's no doubt about that in my mind, right? That's dropped massively. And I think a large part of it comes down to how YouTube sees the content, right? And the problem is we don't know how YouTube sees the content. Oh, you've cursed 17 times too many, so we're not going to allow this video. It's really hard to tell. But with Twitch has always been a very trend heavy platform, right? So for example, the leading trends are what you'll see dominate Twitch. I mean, look at Among Us, right? When Among Us first came out, first got picked up and noticed, right? It blew up on Twitch, massively so. But since then, it's dropped. Same with Fall Guys, same with Valheim, same with Outriders. This is a common trend with Twitch. When something is brand spanking new and shiny, it blows up on the platform. What a lot of content creators or aspiring content creators have to deal with when it comes to YouTube is their fight with what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, content creators that are already there, established, right? Established content creators. Because, I could create a video about Doom Eternal or whatever, and it be absolutely amazing, but it came out 2-3 weeks after the release for the game, and Markiplier had a video came out the same day. Jacksepticeye had a video came out the same day, so on and so forth, right? So the hobbyist side of content creation massively struggles. Absolutely massively struggles. But the people that are in the professional side of content creation, they're able to do it swimmingly. But we're talking like 8 to 12-hour days, maybe even 16-hour days, right? Those aren't healthy hours to live. Yeah.
Well, I mean, recently MatPat made a video about like how to make game theory, and honestly, I remember looking at these hot tub streams, oh my god. But I remember looking at these like, how do we make videos?
I've seen those. They're ridiculous.
Yeah. And honestly, like I remember back in the day, I would be super excited to see like how other people made their videos, because it like gave me an insight into like how their things work. And I remember like watching that video and it just made me sad. And the reason why it made me sad is because I have always been of this attitude that it's like if there's something you want, no excuses. So if I want to be really like good on YouTube, I gotta do like I gotta like try and be the best regardless of excuses. So like I can't make excuses. So like if PewDiePie is posting a video every day, and I gotta try and make a video every day too. And like I can't like is my excuse for not achieving my dream like, oh, he has an editor. It's like, well, no, you gotta be better than that. However, I look at MatPat and like he's making like one video a week on 4 channels. He has a production manager who fills his schedule. He has a person that like an SEO optimization person who will constantly just like check thumbnails, check tags, and all that sort of stuff, just to make sure that the video will trend and like be on the right things. He has free like he has a number of editors for every single video that he has. He has a number of people that do graphic assets for like thumbnails and stuff. He has like 3 or 4 different researchers. He also does stuff, but he like apart from that, like he also like does like the voice lines and stuff. It's like an entire team of like 10 or 20 people that are working on free videos on 3 different channels. And I'm like, so if I'm supposed to compete with that, I don't want to sound like I'm making excuses, but I mean, me alone versus 20 people. Like, I love that people are able to create businesses out of YouTube. But what the fuck am I supposed to do, man?
Yeah.
Like, I was looking at that, I'm like, wow, you know, where is the time when it's kind of like, when it was kind of this thing where you could be like, oh man, this creator, like, remember when like the Noma Noma video was like one of the greatest videos on the channel sort of thing? That's something like, that was just created by someone turning on their webcam and dancing to like the Noma Noma song. And like, anyone could do that. And I don't know what like because like on the one hand I like that like there's more money in this field and I like that there's like greater production quality that people can achieve, but at the same time like I really miss where this was like this thing where like I make videos or I do streams because I enjoy doing this. I enjoy doing streams. I enjoy making videos. I think it's a fun thing to do, but like it's slowly but it's very much turned into like an industry where it's so business where it's like I haven't, since the Warframe days, really been able to reach out to any other streamer or creator and speak with them about it. Hey, you made a cool video, or hey, I like what you do. Because it is such an industry where, like if you watch like any of the big channels, no way that you're gonna get in touch with them, or no way that they're actually gonna be people that you can speak with. And like I don't know, it's weird because it's now such an not personal corporate sort of thing it becomes that like I don't know, man, it's just weird. And like I don't think there's anything that can change about that. I think we'll just continue to corporatize like TV by the kind of, and then we're gonna need to find a new YouTube that can kind of be the YouTube that YouTube was television, because television was like had such a big corporation behind it, such large production teams that you needed, that YouTube was the end, like the fight against it. But now we need a YouTube to YouTube.
Yeah, so I get entirely where you're coming from. The largest problems that any company has is oh god, what was it? Competition, right? One content creator. So no, one instance of this, Fox News, right? So in America, it is basically law. You cannot show anything that of a graphic nature on TV. You know, and basically there was a high speed chase pursuit where someone I don't know what they had done or anything like this, but the whole point was that Fox got into a lot of trouble because they had removed the 20-second buffer that their competitors were running, and anyone that was watching Fox News, they were able to see it more up to date.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't have this 20-second lag, right? But during the events of the chase, the driver, I think the wheels popped or something. The driver gave up the chase, got out of the car, and shot himself in the head. Right? And that was stopped by all the other news channels. But Fox televised the suicide.
Yeah.
Right? because they weren't running the buffer,
Mm-hmm.
and as a result, they got into trouble. I feel that YouTube has gotten itself into trouble more times than it can realistically count.
Mm-hmm.
And they are trying to play the constant safe mode, right? The next sort of like the YouTube experiment I want to try is to never curse in a video, right? I want to see if not cursing in YouTube videos will stop the impediment of my channel's growth, because it's dying. My channel's been dying for since 2018, right?
Mm-hmm.
A very, very slow, painful death. But what can I do? YouTube changed the rules without telling people.
Well, the thing which I do still find is that at the end of the day, there are people behind it that watch it, and those are real people. And honestly, I personally just don't like it when to like censor myself, and I don't like to like see people that I watch censor themselves for the sake of like because like who are you appeasing to? It's like, yeah, I'm appeasing to YouTube so that I can get more people to watch me. But so at the end of the day, your target audience is still the people that watch you.
Yeah.
And in the ideal world, because like at the end, like I do strongly feel that when it comes to YouTube ad revenue for the, like I've never had it. I've never ever had YouTube ad revenue, and I'll never count on it because that's a service that YouTube provides, which it doesn't have to provide. It doesn't have to go out and look for like sponsors to sponsor me. That should be my business side of things. So at the end of the day, like getting sponsors, getting paid for the content is basically my prerogative. Where like the goal, but where like the people that hold the power are the individual people that watch. The individual people that decide to like tune into the stream, that decide to tune into this video, like they'll also be the people that sponsors are interested in to like talk to. So at the end of the day, it's the people that watch, and I don't think that I can't believe that most people that watch YouTube or watch our content are like, oh yeah, man, I enjoy the video so much more now that there's no cursing in there. So many people that I speak with, so many people that I hang out with, if I bring if the conversation comes around to like Filthy Frank or something, they're like, dude, remember that? Oh man, that was like such a like crazy time of YouTube. It's unfortunate that's just not there anymore. And it's like, it's a wide variety of people. Some people love that content. Some people just like didn't like that content, but they could still appreciate that it's there. Like I think that like a majority of the people that I know would just like not like it if the entirety of YouTube would just be bland and people just being like, oh hey, here we are today with a color on the screen, which is just there's nothing political about this. There's nothing offensive about this. Whoo, let us go and talk about nothing. Bye-bye. Like, no, I don't want that. I want to be able to say fuck and shit whenever I want, because like that is kind of who I am, and that's kind of like who I think a lot of us are. Like, I don't want to put out a fake version of me. I don't want to put out a modified version of me, because like what you'll find, and this is something which I found actually like lately. This is something which I don't know. I probably share it with my stream once or twice. I never thought that I would share it on stream, but I did. So I might as well share it here on YouTube as well. Is that after 2018, I became very much focused on numbers. The reason was because I was hanging out with a couple of people that I felt were rather close to me that also make videos, who actually had a lot more viewers than I did. But it didn't bother me because I was hanging out with them as mates. I didn't care that they had big numbers. Someone even came up to me and said, oh man, you did so well because right now you're like friends with all these big YouTubers. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I'm not friends with them because they're like, they have big numbers. We all like the same thing. They're cool people. We watch series together. We enjoy time to spend together. However, they went on with their own adventure, and like from everything that I've heard from them, like when they started off doing their own thing, I pretty much got left by the wayside because they had too much time to focus on their teams and stuff. And whenever I would like watch their content, and whenever I would like hear from them, like not really via DMs anymore, but just via like their content and like hearing them speak on stream, because I couldn't really get in calls and get in touch with them anymore. I would really get the sensation that like first of all everything was going well for them, and second of all that like it only mattered when you were like relevant and things were going fine with you and all that sort of stuff, because like everyone is pushing that like positive narrative. And because of that, like I was like, fuck, if I want to have fun on this platform, if I want to like be able to engage with people, say hi to people, like say hi, like if there is a chance in hell that I can say hi to the people, the YouTubers that I watch, that I'm like, oh man, I love how you did that. If I want to do that, I need to have at least 1 million subscribers, because otherwise they won't even speak to me. So in order for me to have fun, I need to have numbers. But I don't care about numbers. But I can't have fun right now. So if I want to have fun, I need to have numbers. And that just fucked with me tremendously. Where like I have done a piece of content. I've stayed with Warframe for a lot longer than I should have, because I wanted to see if I could get those numbers up. I wanted to see if I could like use the time that I spent in Warframe, the fact that I was Warframe partner, to see if I could get my numbers up, because fuck it, you know, if I had some bad experiences there, I might as well like try and put it to good use. And that isn't really like the reason why I started like doing this thing. That's like, I started doing this thing because I wanted to meet new people, because I enjoyed making videos, and because I enjoyed making streams. I really did not care about the money or the numbers, but it became something which was important to me. And lo and behold, a couple years later, funny thing is that I still haven't spoken to these people, but like recently a couple of them have had like pretty bad times, or like their numbers have been stagnating, things aren't going as swimmingly anymore, and you're hearing that they're saying like, well, you know, I just hate that people are so focused on numbers all the time. Oh man, like I really haven't been doing good. And it's like, I'm like, wow, you know, that like maybe that thing, that the picture that I painted of you in my mind, because I couldn't reach out to you, and I only saw that everything was going swimmingly, that you had like this perfect life, and I was just like struggling behind, and like it was all because of my own faults and my own errors and my own sins, that I was doing bad while you all were doing good. That like maybe that wasn't as true. Maybe you all were also flawed human beings like me. Maybe you also had your problems. Maybe you also were human, because you are. And like I hate that like I had something like that influence me, because I had seen people that I kind of knew online act like that. And that's something where like I don't want to act. I don't want to show on YouTube or on social media in any way, shape, or form that I am not human, because I am human just like you, Drew, just like anyone else watching this. I am not better than you. I'm not worse than you. We are here. We all make mistakes. We all do things that we don't like, that we're proud about, and we all do things that we're not proud about. And why the fuck should we go ahead and censor ourselves and portray this perfect version because maybe people will watch us then? Well, if there are people that will only watch me when I'm this perfect version of myself that is not me, then please do not watch me. Do not subscribe to my channel. Get the fuck out of here. I rather would not have a big channel if the only way that I can have a big channel is have people watch me that will only like me if I am not me. If that case, then YouTube isn't for me.
I think the sentiment of YouTube is not for me is accurate, right? I mean, while you've been talking, I've pretty much decided. I don't know if I can, have I? No. Okay, cool. I've pretty much decided I'm stopping the YouTube Shorts. Right? They're really stressful to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I've created a formula to do them, but until I can like put it in a conveyor belt to get it in one end and out another end, like it's too much stress to do. YouTube don't care about the shorts.
Mm-hmm.
They've made that evident. Maybe I'll wait until they fix the monetization of it, right? But YouTube are like the thing that I'm actually considering more realistically is, do I continue doing arbiters, right? Arbiters is a lot of work. It costs money to do. It's fun I have, but the sheer amount of effort that has to go into just organizing an arbiters is frustrating as hell, right? You know, there are fewer and fewer content creators that are willing to be on anything Warframe related, right? It's drying up the ocean, you know, like it's effectively it's a pond right now, you know, of content creators that want to be affiliated with Warframe. And worse still, like, you know, you're right with the whole numbers game. Like it shouldn't have to be about numbers. But the problem for me, and this is where, like, you know, maybe we should just look for alternative platforms compared to YouTube. You know, still push stuff on YouTube, but just look for alternatives, because the oh god, what's the name of the damn thing? The censorship is just ludicrous. Like the fact that I still have over 13,000 subscribers on YouTube, but 285 people watched this week's Arbiters. Used to be I would get thousands of people watching Arbiters. How is it just dropped off so badly when last week it was double that number? You know, it's a really, and the problem is you can't. You know, I say like tarring people with a brush. You can't tar people with the same brush. I don't know if any of the people here right now listening to us are watching Arbiters, but this is like hell. This is why I'm building Tiamat, right? I've been building Tiamat for. I mean, it sucks that Tiamat went down for 2 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, the whole idea of sharing content with people. It's just such a critical thing, you know, because platforms like Twitter, like YouTube, they don't want you to just stumble upon this stuff. So that's why sharing it amongst communities is a better idea, a better approach. Anyway.
But I do want to say one thing, is that like, as much as it may seem like we're saying like, oh man, it is bad, I do still have hope. And that's why I continue to post. That's why I continue to stream. That's why I continue, because at the end of the day, I think the power at the end comes to the viewers, because like it is at the end of the day, the individuals, not the viewers actually, it's the individuals, like the people that are watching right now, you watching right now, you're self-deciding individual. Yes, there may be algorithms that can guide your recommended feeds, but you at the end of the day decide to click on the video and watch it. And like, in order to like show that like these people are still out there, people are still watching this shit. Like here, let me show you this right here. So right here we have the old internet challenge by Super Mega, watched by 260,000 people. They watched Too Mad and Super Mega. They watched Mad and Ryan and Too Mad all do these old internet challenges like drinking milk until you vomit, doing the cinnamon challenge, doing the ice bucket challenge. People watch that. Let's go to Cult Ones right here. 1.42 million subscribers, which is an entire like channel full with podcasts and like videos all about just like the most like just getting drunk and doing stupid shit. 1.4 million people still watch this. People still watch this. TV Filthy Frank 2. Someone decided to pick up the Filthy Frank banner and continue on. He's actually a pretty good like imitator. Like he can actually do the voices quite well. His videos look 346,000 subscribers. Let's go. Michael Reeves. Oh my god. If you want to talk PC, if you want to talk about the most advertiser-friendly person, fuck no. Michael Reeves is not a person that you would want to go to if you're an advertiser. You want to get the fuck away with this. Look at this video right here. Called, yes, it is showing you how to make robots, but this is called teaching a robot dog how to pee beer. He went ahead. I would definitely recommend to watch this video to get himself a Boston Dynamics robot, because Boston Dynamics would not sell him a robot. So he got his hands on it and he decided, I'm going to make this piece of shit, like this brilliant state-of-the-art robot. I'm going to make it a robot that can piss beer. If you put an empty beer cup on the ground, it will piss beer into your cup. And you know what he did? He drove all the way across the country to go to, hold on, where is this? Let's see if I can find this, where it is. He drove all the way across the country, fuck, where is that moment? There we go. To piss on the doorstep of Boston Dynamics that would not give him a robot to go and do something with. They wouldn't sell him a robot.
How did he get the robot?
He ultimately via his like Twitch team, he was able to buy one or something for back channels. He was able to buy one. But here he goes. He goes all the way across the country to piss on Boston Dynamics doorstep. Is that advertiser friendly? Fuck no, it isn't. Is that what YouTube wants? Probably fuck no. But there are still people that are watching this, because people that are watching aren't like algorithm decided people. There aren't algorithm decided people that are like, oh man, I'll only watch so much, because there's individuals behind there. So there are people that will watch that. Like I really trust in like the individual. I really trust in the individual that's watching this, that's creating this. But the thing which like frustrates me the most, and like this is something where like I do not know how to do this. This is kind of like more or less become my mission, aside from like also trying to keep up with like university stuff, because honestly like YouTube is a really tough thing to put your eggs in a basket for. So like I'm studying AI right now. Maybe that will help me to build a platform. Who knows? But anyway, that is like one thing which I really wish for is that, please, if you're another content creator, speak with me. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk as people. Because if I'm hearing, and I'm talking about channels that have 10,000, 100,000, more than 100,000 subscribers, I'm hearing so many people talk about the same fucking problems. I'm hearing so many people talk about the same shit that they're going through. And as an example, for example, like recently, about a year ago, a big Twitch streamer by the name of Recful decided to kill himself. Because he was dealing with depression, he was dealing with feeling lonely, he was dealing with feeling like he was all alone out there by himself, while he had still thousands of people watch him every single day. And that's something which a lot of people may not be able to understand. It's like, how can you, as a creator, feel lonely when you have so many people that watch you? But I can get it. Because the thing is that so many times, like, how many times have I had, like, people say, oh man, that was really fun, you should go ahead and do that again with that person, or reach out to that person. You know how fucking hard it is to get in touch with people? And even when you get in touch with people, like, especially the higher up you get, because I had a time in Warframe where I got a Twitch channel up to 4,000 or 5,000 followers within a week. I got a Twitch channel partnered within a year. I don't use it because it's not a channel that I want to post on. It is not my personal channel. I'm not going to use that. But I got there, and because of that, I was able to get in touch with people and hang out with people that were doing better than whenever you have a couple hundred subscribers. But what do you get? What do you get? It's like you get that people tend to be so much more fake because they want to be so aware of how they are. So everyone here just feels... I don't feel like I'm speaking to individuals unless I'm speaking with you, unless I'm hanging out with Ashishogi Tenno, Jiso. Like Jiso is like one of the few people out there who, like, whenever I'm playing a game, he's just like I'm playing Apex yesterday. He invites me to play Apex. We just hang around. We just like talk as human beings. We go play a game. You, Nasif, me, Xandy as well is like also someone I can like just talk to as a person. Joey is also someone I can talk to as a person. But there are so many people. They're just like, what the fuck is going on? How can we here sit as like creators and viewers alike just have this experience where we're like, oh my god, this is shit. We're not enjoying ourselves. Like, it's kind of alright. But then just like not realize that on the other side of the screen there is an individual just like us. But we will let like these numbers, we'll let these algorithms, we'll let everything else just come in between us because yeah, we can't. Please, can we just like realize that at the other end of the screen there's an individual just like us? And you know, we don't need an algorithm to like convince that convince the other individual to like have a conversation, because at the end of the day, it's just an individual like us. Please, just start treating us as one.
I think that is something that's really worth noting. In fact, like I think this is why I'd like to think this is why people are encouraged. Like, oh, follow us on social media, and this is like actually one thing I'd love is for people to join like Discord and stuff like this, and you know that's somewhere where I'm a lot more active. Like just come chat, just come, you know, like I might not be in voice chat or something, but you know you can at least at me, right? If I'm able to reply, I'll reply. You know, there's so much value in having a conversation, knowing people like Louis Polanco, Nick Evans, I can't remember what she's changing, Scarlet Kingdom, you know, Devaro, just having all these people that like Cool 3303, just having all these people that you can just talk to. Right? About, you know, I've never met them in real life, but I recognize them by voice or by text or by their picture. You know, you can have opinions, you can have thoughts. Was it yesterday or the day before? I asked everyone, I was like, you know, what to you is the best and worst boss fight in video games? Yeah, so people have put in recommendations. I can't comprehend them. I can't comprehend why they think that they're the best or the worst, but you know, still there was engagement between me and them. I think platforms like private, secluded communities like Discord is probably the healthier place than something like YouTube or Twitch or anything else.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. It's such a weird place, especially because I mean, there's a limit to how far we can view. We don't have a million subscribers. We don't have we haven't been like invited to FitCon sort of thing. That's that type of thing. So like I don't know. Like I can't speak for like what it's like being a PewDiePie, being a Jacksepticeye, being any creator somewhat their size, whether there's like something entirely different that I don't understand. But from what I've seen, from what I've heard from people, from what I've heard from speaking with people that like speak with these people on a decent basis, that like everyone seems to be going through somewhat the same shit. Yeah. And it's like, this is where I really miss conventions. This is where I really miss being able to just like meet people in real life as like the person they are, rather than having some algorithm between there, and just being able to like, hey, what do you do? Hey, who are you? And that's also like why I've been like so much loving Twitch streaming, because the thing that I actually get to do on Twitch is have a conversation with my audience and just talk to them like, hey, what were you doing last weekend? What have you been up to? You know, Retro has moved. That's really cool. You know, Tribal has been hugely responsible on Monday. He was doing all sorts of tasks and chores. Oh, that's cool. Like, you know, I can know what people are up to. I know, like, and that sounds weird, but like I know them more as people rather than just like this one viewer number. And yeah, like I don't know what I can do about it. I'm trying my best to see if I can fix it, like do anything about it, but it's rough. Anyway, that being said, final topic: PlayStation ultimately decides to not shut down its PS3 and PS Vita stores. Woo! Good news. I hope you can live off that good news to close the Framecast with. I hope you have a really wonderful feeling now.
Yes, I do.
Yeah!
With the burning desire to need to pee.
Yeah, me too. So thank you all so much for watching this Framecast. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you all whenever the Framecast returns, probably 2 weeks time, or maybe later, depending on how things go. We will see you around. Have a great rest of your day. Go check out youtube.com/XenoGellion. And please support this man on Patreon if you can. And yeah, we will see you all on YouTube as well. Post Malone Games, youtube.com/Post Malone Games for the next thing. We will see you around.
Oh shit! No, tomorrow. Oh
yeah,
tomorrow. Come be here tomorrow, because tomorrow we're doing shit with Uno. There's me, there's Michelle, there's Hydroxate, and there's Nazareth.
Yes.
We're just gonna play some Uno. We're gonna have some Uno bullshit. We did some yesterday.
What we're going to do is we're going to take 4 people that actually interact with each other as people, that actually have a good, solid friendship relationship, and we're going to blow it all up, because we're going to be playing Uno together, and that means that we're going to hate each other afterwards. So it is nice, the last 24 hours, that we can actually be friendly with each other, man. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy.
Yeah, come join us with Uno.
Yeah, come join us with Uno. That's where we end up. Goodbye, everyone. This was FrameCast 73. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.
Bye.